straight.
Hell
Welcome back, fuckers.
It's been a while.
It's been a minute. Where's Dylan? I wish I knew the date of Dylan's.
Who?
Is that Dylan?
That's Dylan right there.
No, that's Blake.
Oh.
I don't know where Dylan's signed.
Right.
Dylan Brims. Yeah, March 16th. It's been almost exactly 3 months since I've done one of these. Sorry, everybody. I've been thinking about doing the glasses. Yeah, we can share
That's the way I've been going lately, dude.
I've been thinking about doing solo ones so I can just like keep up with like content and shit. But again, my goddamn schedule, it's just been out the ass.
So what do you think like you could talk about by yourself for an extended period of time?
I don't know.
There's got to be.
I don't know, dude. Because like the very first one I did, like the intro, hello, it's me, blah, blah, blah. I was like, all right, I got all these points. I'm going to let it ride. And it was like 22 minutes long. And like everyone that does like podcast solo, they've got like hour-long episodes. So I was like, no, there's no way I could do that.
Dude, the comparative game is not ideal.
I don't know. I'd like to try it. I don't know. We'll see. It's whatever. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for coming in, lads.
Thanks for having us.
Mm-hmm.
First recurring guest.
Second recurring. Davis was recurring.
Fuck you, Davis.
Yeah, eat balls, Dave.
It's good to be make my debut here. So.
But for those who don't know, Jack Eagan, DJ Sleepy Eags, and we got Alec Harris in the building. Alec, what is it? Chesterfields?
Chesterfields.
Welcome to the show.
Appreciate it.
So let's just start off with what you guys were just telling me in the kitchen.
Go ahead.
What a ride, Alec.
Oh, you want me to go? All right. So Eags, basically, I caught my attention got caught by your podcast, and I just had researched on Instagram one day and was like pulling it up. I was like, who is this guy? You know, I went on Instagram, stalked his profile. I was like, oh, wow, this kid's from St. Louis, whatever. And basically your profile introduced me to him, and him and I had hit it off from day one. We did a back-to-back at my parents' house. They were down in Florida. So we did like a little party. They kind of. You know, I live on my own, so I was like, you know, why not take advantage while they're down there? And They weren't too happy, but it was a good time. And ever since we've played a few shows together, I've been there for him, and he's been there for me. And just, dude, the support, it's been great.
Hell yeah.
Support's been great. It was so funny, too.
Almost like an accountability buddy. Almost.
I just watched that episode the other day.
Really?
It's a classic one.
Also, for people that don't know, from the last episode, obviously I've known Jack for years now, and I've actually known Alec longer. I've been buddies with your older brother, Matty, since fucking...
Who knows, dude?
I want to say since we were like 11 years old or something like that. Like, I've known you since you were a little shrimp.
He was telling me that you used to push him around back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
I was bullied.
Yeah. I mean, how much older are we than you? You're guys the same age?
Yeah. So
I'm
you're
24
2 years.
in September, so.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Give some noogies.
So you're going up to Chicago soon, and you're going up to Chicago soon.
Sir, September 1st.
July 1st.
Wow, that's ASAP. That's next weekend.
ASAP Rocky.
Holy shit.
Yes, sir.
You guys living with anybody?
I'm living with two of my friends from, one of them's from Mizzou, who is from Arizona, and then the other kid is from St. Louis, who I didn't even meet until after we graduated.
Word.
Shout out Scripps. Probably not going to listen to this.
Maybe. Send it to him.
Maybe. I will. Now I'm going to test him for it, just like we did last time.
For sure. And you're going up. You living with anyone?
Just me and my dog, Winston.
You got a dog, Winston?
I got a golden retriever.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Well, you guys know where you're living? Obviously, you know where you're living.
Yeah, I'm in Wrigleyville, so
yeah.
I'm like 3 blocks away from the stadium, probably.
Hell
something
yeah.
like that. It's so funny. Trying to find a place is at the time that I was within the summer, was like right when people were starting to graduate college. I was talking.
That's when all the leases come up, too.
It was so brutal. I got lucky. One of my brother's like girlfriend's friend, who like I'd gone to a few music festivals with, he was a leasing agent or a real estate agent. And you just respond to, you like set your appointment on Zillow. It's like, yeah, I'm free for these times. And then they reach out and say like, hey, like, are you free for these times? So he reached out to me after I just like checked out one of the locations, and I looked at I saw he had his picture in his signature. I was like, this dude looks so familiar. And then didn't say anything. And then he responded, I was like, yo, by any chance, are you Connor Eagan's little brother? I was like, yes. And he goes, he went to MK, and then he went to Dom Dalla and Sonny Federa with us too, and went to like North Coast. It was like a big group of people, so I didn't like have a ton of interaction with him. But then when I went and saw it, me and my girlfriend went, and he was like, yeah, dude, it's just super crazy. Because I was telling him, I was like, I don't know, I'm trying to like, I got to relay this to my roommates and everything like that. He goes, dude, I've had like kids call me and say, we just graduated, we're about to graduate, we have nowhere else to live. Like, we don't even have to come do a showing. Just send us the application and like we'll fill it out.
No shit.
So it was like after that, right after he showed us that one, I went and saw a different one, which is now going to be my apartment. And I was like, guys, this is sick. This is a good price. Like, we got to do this
Lock it in now.
and just get it over with.
That's sweet. Have you found your place yet?
I've not. I've got a showing on Saturday.
And you're up there this weekend.
Yep.
You got a show this weekend.
I've got a show this weekend. Yep. Sunday at Joy District. So looking forward to
Sunday
it.
at Joy District.
What time?
I'm playing 4 to 5:30.
How can they find it?
They can find it on Instagram.
What is your Instagram?
Chesterfield's Music.
I'll try and get this posted. I could probably do it tonight.
Take your time with
By
it.
Friday. What's today? Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Yeah. So tell me about the show.
So
Where is it? The Joy District?
It's at Joy
Is that an area or a bar?
You should pull up their Instagram, dude. It's so sick.
So I'm still getting familiar with Chicago and the
I
Chicago
fucking
bars and
love
clubs.
Chicago. Chicago.
So Joy District is owned by a guy named Carmen Rossi, who's like one of the biggest. He's well known in Chicago, and he's got a few different clubs. He's got Marquee, he's got Joy
Oh
District.
shit.
Yeah. So, I connected with one of Josh's buddies, Josh Horwitz, who, shout out to him. He's out in LA. He's doing a lot of stuff with cannabis, and he connected me with a whole bunch of these other guys, and we hooked up and set me up with a shot. Dude, really, really cool. That rooftop is sick.
Yeah,
They've got a
this is
sick
dope.
setup there. So inside's pretty cool, but the outside areas,
That's
the rooftop is
sweet.
awesome.
So wait, we never confirmed. Can you or can you not rip heaters while you're playing?
I would love to rip heaters. When I play, everybody knows, like, I need nicotine. I need to be able to sit there and just rip something because I'm ADHD. I just move, and you know that. Yeah, I grew up like that. So when I DJ, I love my nicotine. And I would, since it's outdoor and there's cannabis out there, maybe I can rip
Did you
some
ask
heaters.
about it?
I have not.
You should.
But my trademark is going to be donuts. So, you know, like Steve Aoki brings out like cake and like cakes in people's face. I'm going to bring 4 or 5 dozen donuts and just like casually hand them out to the crowd and just let people
politely
pass it around.
You look like you're craving a little something.
I'm not gonna chuck donuts to people's face, but it's a cool little idea that I came up with, and
I like it. I like it.
Great idea.
I'm always down for
So what kind of donuts? Are you gonna get like one flavor? Are you gonna get gluten-free ones?
You gotta get the
some
pink
nut-
sprinkles
some-
ones.
everybody's been asking, and
Some
pink
nut out?
sprinkles is what Eagan's girlfriend made my logo look like. So it might be pink sprinkles, or it might just be glazed. Maybe do some jelly-filled donuts.
That would be hilarious if you were just up there like hucking long johns like tomahawks at people.
Try to get them like in their mouth.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah. So do you know what? Like, you know Tyler the Creator's his brand, like Odd Future.
Oh, I don't even follow you. My bad.
Damn.
wait,
This is
hold
his
up.
page.
Now,
I
you
think
know
I follow you on the other page.
You know what's pretty sick is actually today I got signed by a management company.
Fuck yeah! Congratulations.
Yes, appreciate it. Midwest Management.
Hell yeah.
So
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, going on that. Oh, this
So-
is the logo. That's sick. I remember seeing that. Well,
So,
it's
yeah,
gone
he's-
now.
That's the cover. If you
But,
go
it's a headshot.
here, if you wanna, you could type in Instagram Cam's Creations. So you'll pull up the. This is where. So this is my girlfriend Cam. She's
Cameron?
super- no, go here. Type it in again. It's this one right here. Oh, you got it. Right there. So she did like in
that's
college like
sweet.
interior design stuff, and is super talented with just making designs, Photoshop and design. So I told her, I was like, yeah, this would be really cool if you like the Odd Future logo. And then she did my logo too, where we were just literally talking about it. And the original one, we had talked about it, and I had it drawn out on like literally a Post-it note. It looked so shitty. I wish I still had it, and like sent her a Snapchat of it. She was like, okay. And then like that night, literally
Really?
came up with like this logo. I was like, what do you think of this? I was like,
That's
that's
so
fucking
dope.
amazing.
That's so dope.
Yeah, so she's doing that for more people. So I had her, like Alec was talking about it. I was like, you should just,
Hit her up.
you guys, you should hit her up and like have her make it and like do that kind of like collaborative process of like, what are you thinking? Like, what do you want to do? Yeah. But I took away from the conversation, what's Midwest Management all about?
So
Yeah.
Midwest Management. So obviously, you know Josh, our older brother. I keep hitting this chord. Josh.
I know it's kind of a hassle.
He started managing me, and then him and some other guys got together, and they started this whole group in Chicago. And they were like, a lot of these bigger DJs, they've got these set management guys that'll get tour or whatever, get gigs. And Josh was like, dude, my brother is great. He's got his own company starting. He still works a full-time job. He's managing me. He does so much for me.
Jeez.
So
Talk about a full schedule.
Yeah. So he's now managing me, and these guys all started an Instagram page, and I'm their first guy to get picked up with. So it's pretty
Fuck
cool.
that. Cheers, dude. Congrats.
I appreciate it.
I'll drink to that.
And
Sipping on Buffalo Trace.
honestly,
Shout
low
out Buffalo
key,
Trace.
Midwest management. You guys got to pick up Eags. it's got to happen.
It's too easy for them now. Those hoodies are so sick. I rock mine all the time. I was just wearing it around one time, just casually, and my buddies came over. They're like, "What the hell's that hoodie?" And I'm like,
Yes,
oh, "It's
sir."
my boy."
Dude, that was the idea behind it too. I made it when Cam made it and showed it to me. I was like, okay, bet I want to put this on stuff. And
I like how you did the stitch too. That's the way to go.
yes, sir.
That's the way to go.
It was there was a hoodie. Actually, it was the Happiness Project that are these guys out of Chicago that make really cool merch. It's all about mental health and
Hell yeah.
mental health awareness. The brand behind it is really cool, and their merch
Stuff
that they
with a
put out.
reason.
Exactly. So I have Cam. I stole one of her hoodies. That was that, and I was this hoodie is fantastic. I was I need it to be this brand. It's not this one. It's not this one that I'm wearing. This is a prototype. This is
That's not the official.
This isn't the official one.
Wow.
This is one that Cam.
He's
got
got
me,
the
actually, 'cause
101.
It's got a little heart on the sleeve.
Yeah, I noticed. I was like, "Mine doesn't have that."
Yeah. I don't love you enough. But we're getting
Thanks,
there. We're getting
thanks.
there. We're getting there. But and it was my dad and some of my other friends were like, "Don't you want it to say your name on it? No one knows who you are." And I was like, "No, I don't want it to say my name on it." For this, just because I like the logo, and then for that specific reason, for one, it being super low key and subtle, and then
Yeah.
two, yo, what
Yeah,
does that mean?
yeah, what
and
is
then,
that?
you guys get talking about it,
Yeah.
and it sparks a conversation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love that. There's a quote that I saw somewhere. It was I think it was simplicity is elegance, or elegance is simplicity. And obviously that old saying, less is more. I think that's big time when it comes to logos.
Yeah, and with the speakers and stuff too. My brother, who he got, I don't even know what the brand is. Some sick company, some of those brands that you buy just a box and it comes with 2 T-shirts and a hoodie and shit like that.
Yeah.
So we got it from this European house music company, and it was literally the logo was just 2 cartoon speakers facing each other.
That's
and
sweet.
I opened it up because he wasn't at home, and he gets his shit sent home sometimes, and I was like, this is awesome. And then had that that was engraved into my brain of just literally just 2 speakers.
That, yeah.
Yeah.
It's sweet. I like it. I dig it a lot.
I
I dig
appreciate
yours
it.
a lot too.
Yeah. I appreciate
Pretty
you buying
cool.
it too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So-
Hashtag support your friends.
So you want to know something funny? So I played Funky Brunch, which is at HQ in Chicago. A few
Funky
weeks ago.
Brunch?
Funky Brunch.
It was funky
So-
too.
I bet.
So it's disco. So dude, I'm all about disco, piano house, tech house. Techno.
Piano house. I like that.
You give it all. MK is my inspiration. I
don't know who MK is.
He's
If you heard some of
legend.
his songs, you would recognize him.
MK or
It's just
EM?
MK, the letter M and the letter K.
Jack, let me tell you something. He's been around since the 90s, early
Holy
90s.
shit, he's 49.
Yeah, he's still rocking it.
So, which can be discussed in a little bit later on down the podcast. But he's my inspiration. He's piano house, and that's where house came from. Daft Punk and all these other guys were kind of inspired by him, but he's the main, he's the go-to guy.
1989.
Yeah,
Oh my lord.
yeah. He's house.
I'm
Detroit.
sure I know some of his stuff, but I'm gonna have to
I'd
go
be
out of my way
curious to
now.
know.
Chicago and
I'd be curious to know what
Detroit
his
is where it
top
came
ones
from. So, all right. Besides that, we'll go back to that. So I played a disco.
We got
set.
time.
If you're familiar with, so I played a disco set at HQ and opened for, Eeks. Why am I?
Chromeo.
Chromeo. Sorry.
I got to keep track of your gigs.
I opened for Chromeo, and I had no idea what it was going to be, and I did a back-to-back with one of my buddies, Cody Kirby, and he's out of Chicago. Just randomly met him through Black Hearts and this other group. And Chromeo, we did this set before them, and it was awesome. And this guy, John Curley, who's Aris Presents, came up to me afterwards and was like, "Yo, you got a logo?" And I was like, "Yeah, I got a logo. One of my buddy's girlfriends created it for me. It's pretty cool." Showed him the logo, and he's like, "Well, you ever heard of Chesterfield cigarettes?" And so I was like, "Yeah, whatever. I smoke cigarettes every once in a while." he's like, well, why don't you turn your logo into Chesterfield cigarettes? So one day I was at work and pulled up an image of Chesterfield cigarettes and started writing it down on like a post-it note. Like,
Wow.
You should have brought it. Do you have a picture of it?
I don't.
I wish I had the picture of my initial drawings too. It's dog shit.
Last night I showed him this and he was like, dude, this is a great idea. So my idea is to now take John Curley's idea, put Chesterfield cigarettes, put Chesterfields on a box with a cigarette that's upside down because my uncle used to smoke. And he would put his very last cigarette upside down.
Lucky Sig.
Everything else, yep, you know it. And do Chesterfields and then do the Chesterfield, Missouri.
Hell yeah.
Chesterfield logo on it.
Hell yeah.
Well, just look up City of Chesterfield logo, and it's like you would recognize it, but it's when he showed it to me, I couldn't kind of picture it, and it's like this is fucking hilarious and like cool at the same time.
Gosh, I can't believe I couldn't remember. I opened for Chromeo. Like, what the hell?
Oh my god.
I hope they're not listening to it. Yeah, that.
Yeah, so City of Chesterfield, and maybe take out City of Chesterfield and just do Chesterfields, and I don't know, but it's a pretty good idea.
I like it. I like it.
You've been doing it 2 words, right? So you could just have like where it says City of, have it be Chester,
And then the bottom part be Fields.
Fields.
Yeah.
That
I
would
love
be.
that. I love the play on words.
Yeah. And that's like the fact that it's a part of the logo makes it less obvious. Like it's not just your name. It's like built into the logo, which is super cool.
Yeah.
And,
I agree.
Yeah. And like the visual.
Shout out Cheddar Hood.
Dude, so you threw out some stuff. We got to dive into your terminology a little bit. So we have Black Hearts and we have Aris Presents. I think Aris Presents would probably be an easier, more digestible explanation. So
like
Aris
this.
Presents.
I like this.
So Aris is a group in Chicago. Kind of started out. So Black Hearts is kind of similar, and so Aris is this group, and they've got clubs where they do Prism nightclub, Radius, Concord Hall.
Prism is a trip.
Dude, Prism's
Prism's
awesome.
lit as fuck. Shout out Prism.
So Aris Presents is the company that'll reach out and get these artists to come in, and they've blown up. And I've met the guy who actually started Aris, and he's a legend, dude. This guy is amazing, and what he started is...
What's it called? RS what?
Aris Presents. So
AURIS.
At its core, like if you looked it up in Google, like the Wikipedia, like 2-sentence definition of it would be as like an event. Like an events company.
Sure.
So they like reach out.
AURIS.
Yeah. So like they reach out and like grab, and if you like see those flyers for people that get brought to shows,
Look at their Instagram.
it's like it has it like on the bottom of it.
RS Presents curates unique, immersive, and interactive live music experience by pairing cutting-edge tech, robust lineups, creative themes, and interactive installations in Chicago, the Midwest, and beyond.
So that name right there, Repopulate Mars, Lee Foss, is who got me started in DJing.
Really? How so?
So I went to an Artist Presents event after Arc Music Festival, which is brand new last year, and this year they're doing 3 days instead of 2. I went to an after show on Monday. So it was Friday and Saturday last year. Sunday there were some after shows. Or no, sorry, it was Saturday and Sunday last year because it's Labor Day weekend and you've got Monday off. And so I went to...
I was going to say, that's a wild Monday.
I went to Lee Foss back-to-back Gorgon City, who was Kai. So Lee Foss and Kai did a back-to-back Monday night, and it was just Josh and I. Maddie bitched out. He's like, I can't do it. I got work. Whatever. So Josh and I went, had a great time, saw Lee Foss and Kai go back-to-back, and I was mind-blown. And I've always been into music, and you've probably known that with Maddie.
Right.
We grew up listening to music, and I went home, took the train home at 9 a.m. Tuesday morning, and was still having a good time, and ripped up my laptop, and there was a lady sitting next to me, and I was like trying to act like a hot shit, whatever, and just started making beats.
Really?
And Aris Presents is who, Lee Foss inspired me, but Aris Events, like the group that got everybody together, and Arc Music Festival, that's how it got.
That's really dope.
Yeah. So it's so cool too. Like I'm still trying to like... click on that's
Funky Brunch right there. That's the afters.
Yeah.
Aftermath video.
This is a great video too.
Yeah, they did. Ethan does really good photography. That's Ali Sure.
Funky Brunch with Chromeo was out of this world.
Yeah.
Dude, I've connected with so many of these people in Chicago, and
Fuck yeah.
This looks like a hell of a time.
great time.
It looks like a really cool spot. Like
Dude,
even
Amy-
just like by itself.
Amy and Greg showed up.
Really?
They were there.
That's great.
We saw Coldplay Sunday, right after my show. Actually, we saw Coldplay, but they were there for Coldplay, and I was like, "Mom, Dad, come with, whatever."
Dude, that was one thing that Wax Motif. He's got some bangers.
He does.
When I was up in Chicago, it's like obviously here in town, like Midwestern has a brunch and Wheelhouse has a brunch, and it's like that kind of a thing. And that was something that I really fucked with when I was up. Obviously, I knew that about Chicago, but when we were up there, we went to, I think, 2 brunches or something. And just like everywhere you went, it was just like music, just like low key bumping in the background. We're just sitting there at this, like, at like
Your vibe.
10:30 in the morning. I'm like, what's
Yeah.
going on in here?
It's like, give me another fucking mimosa.
Yeah, I'm like, bring it up. Come on.
It's sick, and that's just like so normal there. And
It is so normal there.
which is fantastic. Why, like, one of the reasons why I think we're both just so excited to go, because actually,
rips.
when I was at, I was playing at Start Bar like last weekend, and sometimes like there's a bunch of people there, sometimes there's not, and like I have a good ass time either way.
That's the arcade place downtown, right?
Yeah,
Right.
like right next to Wheelhouse.
Yeah.
So that's just like, that's what we call like open format, where I'm just playing music that people like at a bar would want to hear, but I still kind of like have my own spin to it. So I play like house music and then like normal hip hop songs, and then like
Sure.
even some pop songs that I fuck with. I got a lot of Dua Lipa in there.
I love Dua.
Shout out to my
I
girl.
love
Dua.
Dua.
If you're listening to this, I love you.
Come on in.
Easy. You got a girlfriend. Easy.
I think she would be about it too.
I think they're all be okay with it.
So, but I was just playing a bunch of different music and like mixed in some house music, and then like went back to just playing like a bunch of hip hop songs. And this random dude came up to me and was like, "Dude, you got to keep playing house music." And I'm like, he was like, he goes, "I know what you're doing. Like, I know you got to kind of like play to the crowd too, but like
Let it ride.
you gotta just like keep this going." I was like, "Dude, thanks, man." It's like, I love when people just like gas me up whenever I'm DJing. And he was like, "No, dude, like I used to live in Chicago. I was like hardcore nightlife scene for a while."
Oh, that's sweet.
And I was like, "Dude, bet like I'm moving up there soon." He's like, people aren't appreciative of like what you're doing like here right now, but like he goes, as soon as you like, if you like did this exact same thing of like just that house like in Chicago, people are gonna be like way more receptive.
Oh, absolutely.
But so I'm excited for that, but I also fucking love playing hip hop music too. Like I love playing rap music and stuff. Like,
I love that little thing you posted on Instagram yesterday or the other day. I'm
Little
like,
Migos?
yeah, it's like, here's one of the intros I do. One of the transitions I do. I'm like, yeah, this kind of rips.
Dude, I'm trying to make just more content like that, and I was literally procrastinating. That was when I got told that I was opening up for Cruella
Oh, hell yeah.
like a few months ago, and the like promoter, like booking agent, she texted me probably like, I think it was like 2 days before. I called you like right after she texted
sir.
me, and she was like, "Yeah, so like, can you do this?" I was like, "Yeah, for sure." It was like, I think it was like an hour and a half, or like I think it was like an hour and a half or something like that, and like bet. And I was like, of course, freaking out. I was like, I've never done this before. I've never played here before. And I was the first person, so it really wasn't like that big of a deal anyway. But I
Still, celebrate your victories.
it was exactly. So it was really cool. But I was like, okay, bet. I like got to put my set together. Got to do all this. So I sat down, and I didn't. And I started like fucking around with something else. Like I just started. I was like not doing what I sat down to do. But I was like,
That's how it always
I
happens.
was like, it goes, I love this Destiny's Child song, Jumpin' Jumpin',
Yeah.
banger on itself. And I was like, oh, my software tells me this. I didn't just like come up with this out of nowhere. The software like gives me songs that would like
Match,
match the BPM and
Yeah.
the key of it, so it looks good. And I was like, oh shit, Fight Night. Like,
Wait a minute.
that's a fucking
Wait a
hits.
minute.
And then so I just like I played around with it a little
Dude,
bit.
I'm just going to pull it up.
Yeah, you have
What's
to.
what's that?
It's just Eags, EAGZ, and then _1. There's this one fucking account that has, it's like Eags. They have like 30 followers.
This one?
Yeah.
My fucking dog right there.
Yeah.
What I like to do, steal it.
I literally did this yesterday.
Yeah,
last
this
night.
was fire. And yeah, literally the caption says "steal it."
Steal it.
I'm
Sharon's,
gonna punch somebody if I hear this at a club.
Sharon's caring.
Sharing is caring.
Yo, honestly, I was in my room mixing when he did this.
Yeah, I did this at his apartment.
Really?
I had the transition put together, but I was like editing like this in his apartment.
No, it's sweet.
Dude.
That's sweet how the app does that, or the software does that.
It's so cool. So I had played this out a few times because sometimes with stuff like this, I just get like nervous to do it out. But I played it out a few times because people fuck with that song anyway. So
Yeah, both of them.
I play that intro because it starts with like just a jumpin'. People are like, okay, and then I like as soon as Fight Night comes in, that's
like,
when I was like, oh, I did this. When I was at Wheelhouse at their brunch like last weekend, like 2 weekends ago. One of my friends from like I hadn't seen her in so long from like grade school. She came up to me and was like, "Can you?" And she was with her. She plays for the St. Louis Surge.
Oh shit!
Yeah, she's a baller, and she came up to me. I hadn't seen her forever.
What's the Surge?
Basketball team.
Yeah, it's our
Okay,
women's
okay,
basketball team.
okay.
So she, was like, and I was playing like a bunch of house music and stuff, and she was like, "Can you play something like me and my teammates can dance to?" Like they asked me to like come and ask you, and I was like, you know what? I wasn't gonna play it. I didn't. I was like, I got you. So that was, and I ripped that out for the first time in
That's
a long
awesome.
time. Good
I bet they
reaction.
loved it.
It was, dude. It's so fun.
Dude, this guy right here is very clever. When he comes up with something like, what'd you do with San Francisco with Dom Dollar remix?
Oh
What'd
yeah,
you do
with the
that?
Thrill. So you know the
Yeah.
Thrill by Wiz Khalifa,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
so same situation. It popped up. I was like, oh, these songs go together, and that to know that Dom Dollar song, that San Francisco, where's
Yeah.
your disco?
Mm-hmm.
So I like put that was like the first time I'd actually like put two songs like over each other beyond like that software of like actually putting it into it, and they're in like the same BPM and the same key. So I have like a mashup of
That's
those two
sweet.
songs.
What
And
software is this? So people know.
it's Rekordbox. So Rekordbox DJ is what like DJs. There's Rekordbox and there's Serato.
Do you use Rekordbox?
Hey, it's the only one to use, man.
Really?
Only one to use. I've used
So-
Serato, and it's very difficult.
It just depends on what you do. So like when you see those dudes doing like crazy scratch routines, like Serato is more compatible for that. And then they're like the hardware that it comes with too. Then we could go down a fucking rabbit hole of like different hardwares and softwares. But when you look at the like those big ass CDJs that like your boy Bogey has at Crown Room or like at Wheelhouse, like those, since I could take all of my songs and everything that like I have, like those cue points and shit that you saw in there, I could just export that onto a flash drive and just plug it right into that stuff. And since it's a Rekordbox like Pioneer
Yeah,
hardware, all of that transfers over.
that's easy.
So for Serato, I think there's
So they want to make it easy.
yeah.
They
Oh, yeah.
they don't
So,
want to.
so when you want to do like club stuff, like Rekordbox is like the way to do it, and then but you can still plenty of very successful dudes. I still use Serato. It just depends on like what you want to do.
Fair.
It's like anything else with like software. Like people ask like, oh, do you use like any of the like audio, any of the DAWs that you would use for recording a podcast? There's like 5 or 6 of them. But it
Speaking.
just depends what you want to do.
What DAW do you use for your podcast?
I don't know what DAW means.
Digital
How do
audio workstation.
How do you upload your podcast? Like, what do you do it through?
So that's an MP4. That's an MP3. They're both put into the main one, Adobe Premiere.
Okay.
So do you just unlink the audio and then
I sync it. I sync it, audio and the video together, and then I export that as one file to YouTube for YouTube, and then just the main MP3 file is what I upload to like Apple and all that stuff.
because you can just put it right into okay, got
yeah.
it.
Because this file is a gig, not even a gig, like a few hundred megabytes. And that file, the YouTube file, some of them are like 20 gigs, something like that.
Yeah.
So just
Eeks, tell me what's going on with Ableton recently.
What?
How have you been doing with Ableton?
Oh yeah, so I've started to.
What is
You're starting to
Ableton?
get so Ableton's like what you use to actually like make music in, like produce, like that's what.
I wanted to get into that. I want to get
trying
into
to
like
get
the actual making of music.
Yeah, so
Because
he's
mixing stuff is one thing.
yeah. So there's definitely a lot of similarities, but there's like its own differences. So
Ableton, ABLETON.
You've got Ableton, you've got FL
Logic.
Studio, you've got
Logic.
Apple Logic, which is Apple stuff. Their
it's all the
software.
same shit. It just depends on like how you like what your workflow. A lot of like regular musicians will use Logic, and then mostly like EDM and like pop artists use Ableton. But there's also like super
A lot
random
of
variations.
hip hop use FL Studio. So
Yeah.
I've
you're
heard
making-
of FL
yeah,
Studios.
Yeah, but
Fruity Loops.
Fruity Loops, yeah.
So-
That was the original name of it, was Fruity Loops. And
Really?
yeah.
I think I remember that.
With Eags, the
shit.
very first thing that I had asked was like, how did you get started? So he started out DJing and I started out producing. So I started producing music, he started DJing, and then, he kind of showed me the ropes on like queuing and basically getting into the equipment on how to actually become a DJ.
Sure.
And so now I'm trying to get him to produce. And, I think either way you start out is a good way, but producing, I really want to see him produce. And whether it's tech house or techno or piano
the
house or
creativity that he
remixes,
has.
whatever it is, this guy's got it. He can get it.
Have you looked into getting one of those beat pads?
So that's like no, because There's just no. There's
No.
no.
Hey,
Just,
fuck me, man.
yeah, just like interview's over. We So that's those are cool as shit. But for what I know now, that's like one of those things that like you gotta like walk before you can run.
Yeah.
Like, I would buy that and just it would like totally take away from any of like the foundational
I see.
elements of like
I
what
see.
I need to know how to do.
Right.
So like those dudes that like you see those fucking like
Yeah.
things where they bang on that, like those guys like know what the fuck they're doing. So that's just like an extra thing that like they do on top of it. So
I see.
I have a class right now. I do it like every morning of like going through all of like the different things in Ableton and then just like fuck around with song structure and then like putting different things together. So I'm on my way. I'm doing it. I'm in the process right now. The next time that I'll come on this show, I will have
You have a track ready
I'll
for me?
have a track ready for you.
Collab.
It'll be out.
You better.
It may or may not be a collab. One of them we'll have one by
Whatever it
then.
is.
You should take something either from this episode or that or the first episode used as an intro.
Fucking fantastic idea.
That'd be sick.
Regardless of what it is, let me tell you, if I go back to my very first track,
It's gonna be shit.
it was on Small Studio. It was terrible.
Yeah.
Now, when I switched over to Ableton, I tried to make a remix. It was Upside Down. Very shitty track, and it's still on Spotify. I hate it. Terrible. And I go back.
Good. Leave it up though.
Literally,
It's
that's
Leave
going
it
to
up.
stay up, and it's reference to where I started.
For
yes,
sure.
100%.
For sure.
And I figured out like what path I want to go down. I want to be in piano house, tech house, and I want to be in like a little minimal tech.
But you want to be on the producing side of it,
Yeah.
actually making the stuff.
Yep.
Word. Why? I think it's sick. Don't get. I love that.
So-
why? Why you? Not why
I
you.
love
Why do
that
you?
asked
Why
that.
are you that guy now?
Yeah.
So the fact that you asked that question is great because I've always, sat and thought about it. I'd rather produce, and I'm not producing. I'm not trying to DJ to
sorry.
make money. I'm not trying to DJ to be famous. I'm not trying
Jeez,
to
well,
DJ to
well,
do, anything. The main goal of DJing is to become the next MK and
Sure.
produce music and have an inspiration for somebody else that wants to start producing that looks up to me. I want
Hell
to be
yeah.
the next inspiration
Hell
for
yeah.
our generation.
I love that.
Yeah. Producing's a lot of fun. When you make a track that you like, I've had nights where I've, said fuck it. I've given up on an entire track, and I've had nights where I've pressed play and I've sat there and I've stood up out of my chair in my studio and I've started dancing by
Hell yeah.
myself.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's a lot of fun when you get into producing. It's a great time.
Those are literally my top 2-3 favorite categories of videos to watch are when artists come into the studio and Timbaland or Pharrell's yo, I got something for you, and then seeing that first live reaction we're just
Those dudes are
Yeah.
so crazy.
I love that shit.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I mean, obviously that's next level, but that's what you want to be at.
It's exactly
Yeah.
where I want to be.
Well,
Right.
even just being around people that could still straight up also have that one reaction and
Sure.
then be yo, dude, I love you, but this sucks.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah,
to have
yeah.
That,
Honesty.
to have that
The
honesty
reality
in
slap,
there and
for
just be
sure.
dude, this is cool. This will just change this or that. Obviously, everyone wants to just fucking vibe, but if there's something that's not there, and at the end of the day, if I told you something or if you told me something about dude, I don't like this part of it, you could listen to it okay, I value your opinion, but at the same time, I'm not going to change it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you might be right in that situation. I listen to interviews all the time, and there's people that the dude that, this is not a directly applicable example, but the dude who started Coachella, everybody or when they switched it to it, everyone was dude, that name's fucking stupid.
Really?
And yeah, no one wanted him to do it. Every level of them getting bigger, they're you should change the name. You should change the name. And he was no.
Not have it Coachella.
And just have it be something else. And he was no. And obviously now it's super
Coachella.
famous.
Let it rip, baby. I love that.
So Eags was there the night that I was finishing up it's not Fake Love, it's Fade Away.
Anyway.
So Eags actually was switch up the ending, whatever, bounce back and forth. So we did some vocal chops and we finished up Fade Away. So I just
Fade Away track.
It's a banger.
it's a new
Stream
track.
it. It's on Spotify. Is it on
It's
Spotify?
Piano House. Yeah, it's on Spotify.
It's on Spotify now.
It's on Apple
Go-
Music.
So I've got a track coming out Friday.
Oh.
Yeah, get some
Make Me
promo.
Come
in there.
Alive.
Okay.
Make Me Come Alive.
As in
you-
2 days, Friday, June 24th.
Yes,
It's
sir.
CUM too. Make me come alive.
Make Me Come Alive. So, all right. So, with what's really cool about this is we connected
That's
obviously
fucking
on social
great.
media, It's not CUM. It's CUM.
I just made that up.
So what's cool is we connected, obviously, and what inspired me was our connection because of you. And I reached out to this dude named Keith, and Keith was living out in LA for a while. Moved to Denver. Just this random dude, our age. He's 23, 24. Pretty cool. He's got tattoos. He's got 1998 on his hands. He's actually a really, really nice guy. So I call him up, whatever, and I'm like, yo, let's collab. Back in December, I'm like, yo, let's collab, whatever. Nothing has happened. 2 weeks ago, I hit him, and I was like, yo, this track.
As in 6 months later.
6 months later. Dude, things take time. Things take
Oh,
time.
I know. Continue.
You would know. So I hit him up, and I'm like, yo, this track that you're working on right now is unreal, and it's my genre. I'm a piano house guy. I'm inspired by it all. Let me work on this for you. And he had this track that started off, it was gun-ho, like what I basically had started off with. It hits the piano right off the bat. There's no intro. There's no intro or outro. It was build up, breakdown, drop. Build up, breakdown, drop 2, and that's it. Us DJs need an intro and an outro. So in order for us to mix, we need an intro to start off with, whatever it's a beat, continue to go into it. And so it's like, yo, let's collab. So I started off and I was like, all right, whatever, I'll start kick, whatever, move into hi-hats, drums, percussion, into a vocal chop. And I sent this off to him and he was like, dude, what did you just do?
Really? That's sick.
And it was just out of my mind. And it was like, MK has inspired me to vocal chop, and these vocal chops, dude.
Can you give us an example of a vocal chop, please? No, with your voice.
So a vocal chop, if you were sitting here like singing like,
come on,
A B C D E F G, instead of it being A B C D F G, it'd be like B C D F G A whatever.
Okay.
And it bounces back and forth between each lyric.
I want you to sing it like.
Yeah, pretty much.
Show me that octave, baby.
So instead of it like you take like exactly because that was like the one from his song. Like instead of it just being like them like kind of like going up and down, I'm gonna sing it's like.
If I hold
that's like a vocal
the phone
chop.
up to this, will it play?
Yeah.
All right. So
Get like in front of it.
So pretty
If
much.
it was on my phone, I could Bluetooth it to this thing.
So pretty much the song started out like
dope.
this. The song started out like. So it started right off the bat, and I was like, "Dude, let's try something different. Let's go with this way." And so I started off with an intro,
Oh, that's groovy.
so that way DJs can start looping it.
Right. I get the jumping.
So that's like with the Fight Night. That was an intro version of that
And
song.
then where
That's
it
why
came
that
in
worked.
with the vocal chops, it was.
I see. Word.
And I literally sent that to him, and he was like, "Dude, wow,
That's sweet.
Let's get this going." And I was like, "All right."
Get it out.
So we're releasing this Friday, and I'm pretty excited about it.
Where can you find the pre-save link?
On Instagram. Honestly, we haven't posted anything about it. I've sent this off to MK. MK is pretty happy and excited about it. He hasn't picked it up on the label, but if you are wanting to pre-save this, let me know. DM me at Chesterfield's Music on Instagram, and I can send it to you.
I'll have this out by Friday morning,
Dude,
and I'll tag everything in
I'm
it.
Get
so
that in the
stoked
show
about
notes.
this track.
Yeah. Your boy's got to work overtime.
I'm gonna promote the shit out of this. Whether it's like
Good, you
posting
should.
about it every day. I released a song called Godfather, and Maddie's obsessed with it. I hate it. It's tech house. It's tribal tech house, and it blew up back in March.
Really?
I had 100 listens on it,
Fuck yeah.
and now I've got almost 1,000.
Fuck yeah.
That's
So
huge.
it takes time, but now I'm seeing like why he likes it so much.
It's exactly what we were saying earlier, dude. Celebrate those small things.
Definitely. And dude, that's so funny you say
Shout
that.
out
So
Blake.
I literally, yes sir. I saw like a little interview like Russ, the rapper, comes up on my TikTok feed a bunch. And
Dude, he always comes up on my Instagram.
Dude,
He sent this
he's
to
me.
got
Just on
some
my-
fucking knowledge. I did send this to you. So
Did I hit that?
he talked about how he was like it was a whole rant that was a knowledgeable rant, but like the gist of what I took away from it was like just fucking put out songs and like some of them are gonna be good, some are gonna be bad, but like if they don't perform right away, that doesn't matter. Just like move on and make something else. He was like, my number one streamed song for this year was a song I made like 3 years ago. Something like that. So it's like so another thing that I heard from him that's similar to that is like, if you take like so long and just put out like one song within like months or like a year of each other, if people gravitate towards that song, then they're like, okay, like I love this song. And like for what I do as a listener, and I don't know, I think other people do, is like, okay, like I love this song. Let me see what else this guy.
What else they got? Yeah.
So that's
how I found some of my favorite songs.
Exactly. So you just go back and then you end up finding songs from like 2016, 2017 because
you never heard like their first mixtape or whatever the fuck it was.
So they need to have something. They need a story. They need something to grab onto after they get that first song. That first song that they like might be next week. It could be like 10 years from now. But then they're going to have a discography to go back through and look at it. So obviously still be like calculated and like put out good shit that you think is good at the time. Don't just like start putting stuff out just to put it out. But like the aspect of just like not putting something out, like having them really, really far apart can like hurt you kind of down the line.
That's kind of how I found Will Clark.
Really?
ArcFest last year, I was looking up the lineup and I was like, who are these guys? And Will Clark popped up, and dude, his sound is specific. He's got that, it's actually a clap that he has turned into almost like a hat. And I just started researching this guy, and I went all the way back to 2013 and saw where he started into 2015, I think. I'm not sure, but he started in 2015 with this specific sound, and it's just low. It's like it's super hollow. It's like it almost sounds like a hollow kick.
Hollow's a good word. I kind of already understand what you're saying.
And what he's created is just his sound. It's his specific sound, and so like I'm trying to chase after that.
Almost like his little trademark.
And I know this guy is going to chase after something. He'll figure out his sound, and he will pick up on it.
Yeah, it takes time. I'm just figuring it out. But you know what's so cool is there's this documentary on Amazon Prime. It's called not Unheard. I don't know what the name of it is.
You told me about it.
Yeah, so it's just like all about like women and then like the DJ and producer world. Underplayed. That's what it is. Underplayed. And I watched it, and it's so cool. And this one producer, and I can't remember her name. I hadn't heard of her before, and they kind of like just talked to her about her process. Yeah.
This bad boy?
Yeah, it's a sick. So like Alice in Wonderland, Rez, and a bunch of like LP Giobli. Yeah. And then like a handful of other girls or women too.
Underplayed presents a portrait of the
Shout
current
out to
status of the
Zach.
gender, ethnic, and sexuality equality issues in dance music.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's super interesting. So this I think it's actually that girl right there. So she was like, yeah, so what I did to make this, I think it was a clap or a hi-hat. So a hi-hat.
First we could just like see the people in it. Sorry.
Yeah.
The
So
hi-hat.
a
Keep
hi-hat
going.
specifically, for anybody that doesn't like know, it's like that's
Mm-hmm.
that's like,
Like on a
like
drum-
on a
like on a
drum
drum
kit.
set,
It's like
yeah.
that one that's up there. And she was like, okay, yeah. So I did. I recorded like herself a car door closing, two rocks
Yeah, go for it.
hitting together,
Mm-hmm.
and then like stacked them on top of each other and added reverb, which is like the shh that you like hear. She goes, so now I know that I have a hi-hat or a clap that nobody else has. And
That's
she was
sweet,
just like,
because it was like her own little sound.
so it was like a car door closing, two rocks hitting together, like and then like a clap like that's in the software, and then just like some reverb, and she like stacked all that on top of each other to make like her own sound.
Have you ever seen that movie with Zac Efron?
We Are Your Friends.
Yeah.
Fucking love that movie.
Yeah, and how he goes on the run and like hears all those sounds and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Say what you want about the movie. That was fucking sweet.
I love that movie. And he had
I actually saw it in theaters.
really?
Yeah.
You're like, I'm gonna be a fucking DJ
Yeah,
after
literally,
this.
dude. I was like, Tomorrowland, here I come. I was 12 years old.
Yeah, dude, I remember being so pumped that I was like, I was asking my brother who's like 30 now at the time, like, but so he's like 6 years older than me. I was like, God, isn't this movie so cool? He's like, no, the movie fucking sucks. But
For what it is, it's a good. I liked it. I enjoyed it.
and you got Emily Ratajkowski.
Yeah, I was
in
about
there
to say,
too.
yeah.
And the dude from Westworld and like
That's right.
the last like 2 Hunger Games movies. That dude's a great actor. Who's like the famous DJ in that. You know what I'm talking about? His name's like Eric Reed, I think, or like yeah, Wes Valley. He's in Yellowstone
Oh
too.
yeah.
Yeah, great actor. And yeah, Emily Ratajkowski.
That's
Zac
right. He
Efron.
is like he's like
What
the
did I
main
miss
dude.
here?
We're talking. You ever seen the movie We Are Your Friends?
No.
Zac Efron. You should check it out. You'd like it. It's old. When's it
It's
from?
old, probably like 2015 or something.
2015. Really? I saw it in theaters. Huh.
It's where he goes crazy. in a way.
I thought it was older.
No,
than that.
becomes a DJ.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Thinking of something different.
It's dope though.
I'm thinking of that Charlie movie that he was in, whatever. His brother.
Also, speaking of like what you're talking about, like putting out music and like people coming back to your stuff. Do you guys watch Stranger Things?
Oh, are you kidding me?
You watch it?
I have, but I do not.
Binge watch.
Yeah. So this new season, I forget the song, but that main song.
Up the hill, baby.
Oh yeah, that came out in like the '80s or something.
Hi, Bell.
And she owns the rights to all her music, owns all her streaming rights.
Kate Bush, dude. She's a legend.
And since that show has come out with that song, with how much it's been streamed, she's been making like $250,000 a week.
And music lives
Forever.
So,
yeah.
Kate
like
Bush,
the people that own like MJ's shit and stuff like that.
It's his family, I'm pretty sure. Actually, his family, I think his estate sold it to. There's a whole thing in the music business now of these like they're like it's pretty much a like music venture capitalist that will they just go in and they have like whole marketing and like strategic campaigns behind like what they're gonna do. They don't just like buy it and then put it out. They have like connections within like movies, like and TV shows and shit like that. But they'll spend like, however, I think Justin Timberlake or somebody else just sold their catalog.
I think it was
for,
JT. I just saw that.
$3
yeah.
billion or something like that. So what they do, and there's obviously like
I heard he sold like one album for $100 million.
something, dude. It's crazy numbers because, and he probably still keeps like a little like some. He has to still keep like some sort of ownership. But then like what they do is like okay. What you own all of your music, but you need a team of people to consistently place that to where it's getting exposure and like you're gonna keep making money off of it. We're not gonna buy it just to buy it and lock it away. There a lot of those like companies, at least one that like I've looked at that I actually almost applied for like an internship. There's like they have like whole marketing and like connection campaigns to keep their music
Try and
around
place,
and
like,
relevant to just get it synced
In a movie
in.
or a show or a commercial or
Yeah.
whatever the hell. Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, so that's a whole like industry that just crazy money is just tossed
dude, I
around. It's
believe it.
absurd.
What's up?
dude. So Kate Bush,
Yeah.
that song. Do you know what year that came out?
I know it's in like the 80s.
So
What's it called? Running Up the Hill?
it's up the hill or running up the hill. Yeah. What year is it?
Let's see.
So basically, where I'm trying to go with it is
1985.
My dad was listening to this song in high school.
I would check out. Yeah.
And so the thing is, because now I'm producing
August 5th, 1985.
He's like, "Oh, are you gonna make a remix of Kate
the
Bush
hill.
track?" I'm like, "No, I'm gonna let everybody else take care of it. I'm gonna make original music, whatever." Dude, so this kid Hybel over in the UK just made a techno version of the song, and he's
Fire.
killing it.
Really?
Killing it. He is a very, very good producer. Actually, just got on John Summit's label, made a remix of his song, and
Was it that?
it's
'Cause
Echoes.
Yeah, because he was like the first. He was the
He's the
first
one that'll
guy.
stand outside of. It's like this old church. He like goes to this
Yep,
old
I know
church.
what you're talking
and
about. It's
It's
sick.
the abandoned place, and made a remix of this track. So
I-
good. I won't make remixes anymore. I tried with Upside Down. I sucked at it. I want to make my original music, but this track, when I was watching Stranger Things on the first part of it, obviously it releases this upcoming week for part 2. I was like, God damn, dude, she's wow.
Dude, I didn't
back in the day.
even know the song. And like the first time I heard it, I was like, God damn, this song's catchy. And then I looked it up. I was like, motherfucker, it's 40 years old.
Our parents, were
Motherfucker,
probably
you
in
look
high
30.
school. Our parents were in high school when this came out. Like
Dude.
the Doors, dude, and the
Doesn't
Cure, and just the Cure, dude. Back in the year, do you know who the Cure is? You know who the Cure is?
No, dude, you get so like appalled whenever we don't
Dude,
know obscure
The
music.
Cure, like the original house, almost. Like the Cure is the epitome of house music for the 80s and the 70s, the 90s. Like you get to the 90s and then you get like the Red Hot Chili Peppers. You get kind of into the rock scene, but you get hit the late 80s, early 90s, and you get girls like Kate Bush who are women that are making this track, and that's like
The song's incredible.
Did she
amazing.
produce it? Look up who produced it.
When was Daft Punk? Was that 80s or 90s?
So Mark MK was before Daft Punk, 89. Daft Punk was 92, I think. You're going to have to look it up.
There's a song by
91.
English singer and songwriter Kate Bush from her 5th studio album, written and produced by Bush.
That's fire. Love that.
Dude,
Dude, I wouldn't
she's
say
great.
that, like, just because he, like, started, like, putting out
Wow.
songs before, and I'm not, like, correcting you. I'm just, like, thinking out loud here. At the time, if you think of, they were in France, and he was in
Yeah.
Detroit, they, like,
Daft Punk was
Stuff-
formed in 93 in Paris. Oh,
Yeah.
that's sick.
So-
Didn't
so
know
both
that.
of them made music, like, individually before that.
Okay.
I
And
know
then-
for a fact that these guys were inspired by, kind of inspired, but these guys had heard Mark, and they were they basically picked up their own sound. Now they created their own sound, and they were iconic. I mean, Coachella in 2000, what was it, 2006?
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
It was they, dude. Guess how much they wanted?
Oh, I've seen a
for-
video
you
of
see
that.
Can you guess?
No,
Give me a
what?
number. Just give out a number for how
The
much they
Daft
wanted.
Punk wanted to play at Coachella?
Yeah,
$5 million.
not nearly, but they wanted 300 grand for a show,
Holy fuck.
for one show.
They got it, and it was
And they got it.
fucking
And they
iconic,
got
and
it.
they got it. So where did you get where is this, like, where is that data, or not data, fuck, like, where did you hear that or, like, see that?
So, based off of what I know, like Mark started in '89, and what I've
What's this guy's name? Mark what?
It's Mark Kinchin.
Is-
So
and anytime he says Mark, he's talking about
he's from
MK.
Detroit. I'm actually good friends. Well, I've become good friends with his nephew Shay. Shay
Mark
Rush.
Kenshin.
Yeah. So yeah, that's
His
so
nephew
MK.
Shay Rush, who is actually was a previous basketball player, is very successful in what he does right now. He works for Merrill Lynch, he's a private wealth advisor. Kind of picking up on what he does, but that's his nephew. And what I've learned is Mark was around in the late '80s, and what I've seen is in early '90s, these guys had picked up on MK and were like, "Yo, let's create like a techno-ish house." And these guys are French.
Yeah,
guys
is
are
it
French.
Yeah, Paris.
So
you know.
you didn't answer my question.
Repeat it, please.
Where did that come from outside of your own intuition?
If you look it up online, I've taken the time to read up on it. If you look it up, you'll see it. I could swear that
I'm
that
not
these
debating it with you.
That
I
these
just
guys
wanna,
have been inspired by.
I am curious too, and like want to look into it.
There was a day that maybe
Let's
I
go
was
back
on
to Daft
TikTok
Punk.
or whatever, but these guys are after MK, and MK was like a Detroit house.
Yeah, I
and
mean, they weren't until 98 as part of the
French.
French house movement.
Yeah.
the French house didn't come around until late '90s, like Jack is saying.
Yeah.
I mean, and they were like a worldwide phenom.
Where house started, like Frankie Knuckles, and you've got guys like Frankie Knuckles, and then you got Honey Dijon, who's a great female DJ out of I believe she's out of Chicago. I'm not really 100% sure, but you've got all these legends, and house started in Chicago, moved to Detroit, then New York after Detroit, and guys like Mark ended up inspiring the UK, Europe area, and Daft Punk came around and just totally stole it and killed it.
Yeah.
Killed it.
Steal is an aggressive word.
Sorry, steal.
Adapted.
like-
Adapted.
Adapted.
Yeah.
Correct. Let me tell you, Daft Punk fucking killed it. And then Justice came around.
Yeah, right
after
here. Daft Punk are regarded as one of the most influential dance acts in history. Yeah, I'd fucking
Honestly.
say so.
And Justice, if you guys are familiar with Justice, I saw them at Lala 2017, Lollapalooza in Chicago. If you're not familiar with Lollapalooza,
Get out from under your rock.
That was the one thing that you decided to like elaborate on was Lollapalooza.
I've known Justice.
If
for
the people
a
that
very
listen
long
to
time.
this know anything, they know what Lala is.
All right, whatever.
No, keep going. Keep going.
Justice is basically a takeoff of Daft Punk, and Justice is like identical to them. Dude, these guys are unreal, and they came around after these guys, and Daft Punk's no longer, and Justice you can maybe see still. I'm not really sure.
I was just about to say they announced their split in 2021. I knew they just announced that.
I have a sick Daft Punk poster, and like my one roommate at the time, so you would have been graduated, and I was a junior at Mizzou, and I was like, Frankie, dude. As Frankie, I talked about him last time on the podcast. I was like, he goes, I already know. He goes, you don't even have to say it. And me and him just listened to Daft Punk for like 4 hours.
So funny, Brendan Greenheck. I don't know if you're gonna listen to this, but Greenheck, there were so many nights at college where we just listened to Daft Punk for like 3 or 4 hours in a row, and we loved it. I mean, we loved
So
it.
fire.
I mean, I can listen to All Around the World 10 times in a row.
Well, that song was like 8 minutes long.
Yeah,
too, so
exactly.
you're like halfway there
Yeah.
at that point. Wait,
This shit rips.
Are you familiar with Dance? The song Dance?
Yeah, by
You would think it's Daft Punk, right?
I gotta hear it. Probably. Oh yeah.
So I always originally thought it was Daft Punk, and it's Justice, and they kind of took
Oh
on
my god, the
the
amount of
sound.
times I've heard that song.
Dude, so good. So good.
so good. Clip that.
Excuse me.
Clip that. Dude, I told you you need a clip. You need to
need
get
to-
somebody
yeah.
to clip every time you fucking
Shit.
burp into the mic.
Sorry, everybody.
No, that's dude. Like every time sometimes you make an effort to like go back a little bit. That was straight into it.
I owned up to that one. Oh my god, Mom, you're gonna love that. My mom listens to all of these.
Love it. Actually, so speaking about that, my dad was like, "All right, Jack, you got to put in like at some point in there, you gotta, like say something so that you can tell that I listened to it." So,
Dad, right now.
Dad, tell me the word blue when you see me.
Dad, I love you.
It's like, Dad, tell me you love me.
Daddy wasn't there.
To take you to
Take
the fair.
Change my underwear.
That was we kind of harmonized that
Yeah,
for a
I
second.
kind of like. Should we
Should
do
we
something?
do it?
Hey, do you guys want to collab? You guys want to hop
Yeah.
on my next track?
Yeah,
Yeah.
what I was saying earlier. Take a clip of this. Fucking throw it in something.
Dude, clip it. I actually, you know what? I sang something to my voice memo in my car. I only sent it to one of my friends.
Oh my god.
So, you know, like with house music and like tech house specifically, some of the phrases that are before drops are just like they rhyme and they're funny, but they're so fucking stupid.
Dude, I was listening to one today when I was working out that was hilarious. I wish I could pull it up. I didn't save the song. Keep going.
So,
Because they are.
like,
They're like
dude.
the most. There's one song called Tits on a Tricycle. And it is just like the funniest fucking thing. What
and
could
so-
be better than tits on a tricycle? It's like, what is that?
yeah. So I would go for like a little less obscure than that. Because, like, dude, there's been times, if there's my ultimate goal, if I'm either like trying to make music or like playing music out, is to like, if somebody can laugh
Yeah.
at the same time of being like, dude, that fucking slapped. Like,
Yeah.
that was cool.
I love that.
That's like, because I've been at shows where people have done that. And if I think it's funny, I'm like, this is like sick, and this is also hilarious at the same
you
time.
remember
Like,
it too.
Yeah.
Because if it's that one thing, because like this kind of music is hard. Like if you hear it, it's hard to look up.
Yeah.
But like for Tits on a Tricycle, like if you hear that, you're gonna
get that,
remember that one. You're gonna
100%.
find that on Google.
When I hear the
real
words
quick.
"tits on a tricycle," I think of like a song like "tits on a tricycle." Like, what is that? What you were listening to, or was it like?
Dude,
you
it's
said it's
some
probably-
house
Can you pull
song.
it up for
It's
us?
so fucking fun. I don't know how this is gonna
I
work.
think of like screaming.
Tits on a tricycle. At
I
least
don't
this
know.
isn't your.
I don't
your
know how
work.
this is gonna work with like YouTube and all this stuff. Yeah, by
there it is.
Sunburn.
That's my
Sunburn, dude. Wait, what?
Yeah.
No way.
Dude, that's
Yeah,
what I'm
dude.
telling you.
Josh
Dude.
and Maddie met him last year at Spring Awakening.
Oh, this is 2019. That makes more sense.
Yeah, this shit. I hope this will like this will.
This is fire.
Yeah, dude, it's such a sick song. Actually, the first shout out Bennett. Bennett, I hope you listen to this. You just performed. Well, not just. I think it was Memorial Day. You were at the lake.
Yeah.
So my buddy Bennett was doing that all last summer, and I think the summer prior too. And I think it was him that played it. He for sure showed me the song, and then I don't know if he did it or if someone after him played it at Shady's. But I was like, "Oh my god, dude!" And my neck was hurting for like 3 weeks.
Oh
afterwards.
yeah, it has to.
Question for you, Jack.
What's up?
What inspired you to start a podcast? Has
Oh, shit.
First of all, has anyone asked you this on a podcast?
On the pod. I know.
I think either Davis.
Someone probably
did,
has.
or-
We've probably talked about it a little bit.
Sorry to put
A
you
big
on the spot.
inspiration, as corny as it is was Rogan, because like that's how I don't know about you guys, but like I started listening to podcasts like when I first started like working a desk job, because I just need something in the background, and I got way too distracted by music because what we were talking about, I'd go and try and find new music, so I
Yeah.
need something to listen to.
Yeah.
And Rogan, with how he had so many various guests, was very attractive.
Yeah.
And I hate going to the bar. Like usually when you like don't see someone for a while, it's usually out at like a pregame at a bar and you talk to him for like a minute. I'm like, damn, I wish I could have talked to that kid for longer. And so it was just like kind of that. Like at one time I just bucked up and bought everything. I'm like, I'm just gonna fucking do it. Cause like, not to like toot my own horn, but like I've met and talked to a lot of interesting people with some like crazy shit that they've done. And like, I never have the opportunity to just like actually be able to like ask them questions about it.
That's great.
Yeah. So,
great.
and the gist of it is like, yeah, that. And like this shit, like obviously like I'll go and like watch you guys somewhere, but like I can't talk to you for an hour like while you're up there. Like, oh,
Yeah.
like how'd you do that? Why'd you do that? Why this song?
You and I have known each other for a long time, so it's great to be here and like.
Yeah. I'm glad to have you in here. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's so much fun too, because this is all it is. Like we just
Shoot the shit.
yeah. That's all we do.
Well, dude, and even like the first time that when I came on, we had like we had probably seen each other out like once or twice, but I think sports friends are so funny, especially like the fact that like you go from spending like
All day, every day.
like all day, every day together.
Lacrosse.
Yeah, and especially like since I played attack and you played defense, like at the time I was just like we were just like always next to each other.
Yeah, always.
And then graduate, and then obviously like do our own shit, and then I would still see you around Mizzou, and then just like nothing, and then as soon as we sat back down, it was just like
Yeah, it was like nothing ever happened.
Right
Yeah.
back into it.
Do you guys
love
think
it.
that's kind of like a St. Louis thing?
I think I know what you're saying,
Like-
and like kind of, but at the same time, it just happens that we like there's people who live in other states that played sports together in high school, and then moved back to that state and would have been like, we were friends like in high school, and like now we're both kind of doing cool shit, so we should like.
I would say here in town it's easier for like not this example. For like other people I run into, it's an easier connection because it's
Yeah.
like, oh, I know, like we've known each other for 6 years, but like we just always played against each other.
Yeah.
That kind of a thing.
Yes.
Like some of my good friends are like just met kids. Like I've never gone to school with. They were in different fraternities, but I'm with them all the time, and like we've just known each other always because like every other week I was playing against these kids, or in the summer I was traveling with them or whatever.
So, I mean, obviously the viewers know that we all played lacrosse. You were what, defense? Mm-hmm. You were what?
Attack. Yeah.
Attack. I was a goalie.
Were you really?
I was.
I didn't know that.
And I loved it, but hated it at the same time.
Dude, you got to be a different kind of crazy to play goalie.
You're Alec.
you so much for saying that.
Alec, you are one of
It couldn't be me, man.
Alec. You're one of two goalies that I know that is like normal is like a super mean word because I also don't like normal as an adjective anyway.
Yeah, fuck the word normal.
Like JP, J Red, fucking love those guys, but it's got some. There's just something else there.
JP, John Paul.
Yeah, something else there.
Being
But-
a goalie in lacrosse is one of the most craziest positions you can
Dude,
take
it's
on.
insane. It's insane. You have no pads. At a high level, that ball's coming at you at almost 100 miles an hour.
From like 10 yards away.
Like a max of 50 feet
foot.
away.
1 to 1 foot. I played goalie in hockey. I started hockey when I was maybe 6 years old, and hockey was great. You know, hockey was fun. You skate around, whatever. I was goalie, so I sat in net all the time. Absolutely sucked at it. Still sucked at lacrosse, but it was different because I was the guy that the team could defend on, and I also got to see like so much shit. When I played when Marquette played was MICDS in their finals.
WIC?
Crazy shit, dude. Their goalie at the
Oh,
time.
for hockey?
For the
No,
WIC?
for lacrosse.
Oh, really?
At the time, got taken out, and I was put in, and I was like a sophomore.
Oh yeah, because it was probably what like 50-2.
Yeah.
I mean, they did that to everybody,
Probably-
so
I
like
don't
I'm not knocking you
Yeah, no,
personally.
they
I'm
bodied us.
Yeah.
Who knows? But dude, we were at soccer park, and I jumped in net, and I was shitting myself. And I was like, dude, practice is great, you know, whatever. You're getting shot on 1 foot in front of you, but at finals, you're getting actually shot 1 foot in front of you, and you're like, where the fuck did the ball go? Oh wait, the ball's in the net. You know, they already shot, dude. being a goalie in lacrosse is so different versus hockey. It is
I believe it.
crazy.
I believe it.
is insane.
That was a pretty extreme example too to use, like a Marquette practice, and then you're playing against, and then you're playing against MICDS. That's a. Wait, you guys wouldn't have played them in the finals.
At night, I used to take my shaft.
It could have been
my
quarters.
goalie stick. I used to take a shaft of a regular
Or semis.
attack.
Could have been.
Oh yeah. Never mind.
If you're nuts enough as a goalie in lacrosse, you take your shaft and you rub it up and down
Your shin? You just don't feel anything.
up and down your shin. And I did this several times, and I killed the nerves. Now I've got my nerves back, obviously, but I was raw on my knees or my shins at one point, and I was getting shot on. Balls would reflect.
Dude.
No big
Nothing,
deal. No
nothing.
big deal. Now to get hit on the kneecaps or get hit in the nuts, whatever, still wearing a cup, would kill. But the shins, dude, after a while, you sit there.
There was always some kids on tournaments that like goalies would like throw in like soccer shin pads, shin guards, and like because Joe and his older brother Jake was our summer coach, and Jake was a college goalie, so he was obviously our head coach, but then also like Joe's goalie coach.
Yeah.
And they would always just like shit on these kids. And, like in the back of my mind, I was like, "Are you insane? Like I would throw on shin guards too, man." And there's been like a few times. There's one time at CBC and PE where we were on the field, and me and Devin Boyce were out there, and there's a soccer goal out there, and I was like, "All right, Devin, like show me how hard like saving a PK really is." And he was like, "All right," and he just like kind of put one in there. I was like, "No, fuck off, like." Give me a real one. And he hummed one. And I was like, I'm never stepping in a soccer goal again. And then, like, the same thing with, like, summer ball, like, lacrosse practices. Like, when we'd be fucking around with, like, tennis balls, like, doing, like, 3v3 and stuff like that. It would just, like, cycle out goalies. I'd step in, and I'm like, you got to be, like, it was just a tennis ball. It's like, you got to be insane to step in this thing.
Yeah.
It was almost
Horrifying, man.
Somebody was pitching a ball at you.
Yeah. And if the kid knew what he was doing, he was just painting.
Which I gotta imagine is better than
Oh, for sure.
a kid who
Not
can just
no
shoot
clue
hard
where
and
it's
has
going.
no idea where it's going. Like there was some times where our kids like that I coached that they'd be like, "Coach, like when can we shoot on the goal?" I was like, "Well, like you guys can whenever we're scrimmaging." They're like, "Why?" I was like, "Because you guys don't know where the fuck you're shooting."
Yeah, literally.
I was like, I could like go in there and like warm them up, or like have somebody like one of the other coaches, like even when we were in high school, like after I got hurt, that's like what I would do. I would like
Right.
I would like warm up our goalies at halftime, and somebody else would go out there. Obviously not Nick. Nick knows how to fucking coach. Silva would like he would paint, but some other kids would get it and just like fucking rip it, just like drill the goalies like during warm ups, which is not what you're supposed to do at all.
No.
Who would warm you guys up? Was it one of your coaches or was it one of the players?
It was one of our coaches, and he would not. I mean, every once in a while I would take tennis balls, but it was not tennis balls. After a while,
Oh yeah, I mean he shouldn't use
varsity
tennis
year. I mean,
balls.
it was full on shot.
I'm saying like did he know where like was he good? Like
Oh.
I don't remember who your coach
He
was.
was right on,
Okay, well, that's good.
right on, and now
That-
right on like net or right on body. He was right on body. He was literally going for our shins, going for the 5-hole, was going for top right pocket, top left pocket.
There was this youth league that I've been coaching, this youth team that I've been coaching. Last summer, we went on 2 out-of-town tournaments. And there's 3 of us. There's like the head coach, Gio, who's like a dad, and then me, and then Nick. And Nick was an attack. He played attack. And if he wasn't ever around, I had to warm the goalie up. And like I played defense because I didn't know how to shoot. Like that was my thing.
And you liked hitting people.
And I was I couldn't keep up with midfield. I couldn't do it. And I never learned how to shoot. And if Nick was never on the field, it was Gio would be like, you got to warm the goalie up. And I'm like, okay, but after like 50%, like I'm missing the cage. Like, and like after like 10 shots, I'd be like, you good? He's like, you got to shoot these harder. And I'd be like, just looking around for Nick. I'm like, oh, I'm fucked. Like I can't. He's like, go top right. I'm like, I can't. Like I can't do that.
Dude, do you have the same experience? So anytime, like once I started coaching,
It's funny how we just got into lacrosse.
You were
Yeah.
coaching?
what?
You were coaching for?
No, not anymore. I stopped like to do music more because like I did that.
It's time consuming.
It's really
a commitment for sure.
So I did that like the end of college, or no, I mean like the end of high school and like all throughout college, like in the summers and whenever I would come home. And anytime we would go to a field, especially because like we're in Missouri, like it's St. Louis, like it's still Missouri. And anytime I would see a coach that was like older than like probably 4 or 5 years older than us, maybe like even past that. Like if it was a dad when I rolled up, I would immediately think you have no idea what you're talking about, because those dudes did not start playing lacrosse until they were 20. Like they wouldn't have started playing. Not that is like that's my really, really harsh judgment of it. And then I would start to pick up on it, and they obviously at the time I was like 18, 19, but I'd been playing lacrosse since I was like 8.
Right.
At a certain point on the highly competitive teams. And then these dudes were telling these kids, and I can't just like out this guy in front of everybody. He's telling these kids, these like 12-year-olds how to do something, and he gets into explaining it. I'd be like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? Like,
He pulled a kid's guy. Hey, so we don't do that.
dude, that's not cool. He was like, yes, like when you do it, so like when you cradle, you want to like bring it across your face. I was like, that's the exact opposite of what you want to do. And there's just like other shit, but like, did you ever think that if you like rolled up to a tournament or like other practices and shit, if there was like an older guy, and sometimes they were from the East Coast or had played at really high level and just for some reason landed in St. Louis, but that was very few and far in between.
It's funny you bring this up because literally the other day, I don't know why, but I was thinking about this the other day in the shower. Of that, you ever go to that Irish lacrosse camp? Yeah. Oh, it was hot in there.
Yes, I did.
At soccer park.
Yeah.
So I don't know. This was my sophomore, going into junior year, some shit like that. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I went to that.
But as a defenseman, like a shot, save, clear, you banana below the goal.
Yeah.
And we were doing this drill. There was like 40 defensemen and this one coach, and he was trying to teach this drill. He was like, all right, so we're going to do the exact opposite. Like, he didn't say that, but he was like, how he was coaching was the exact opposite. He was like, all right, so you're going to balloon like 10 yards up above GLE and then come back looking at the goalie. And I was like, in my head, I was like, no. And then like 5 reps my 5 reps I did, I just didn't do it. I did what I knew to do. And then at one point, Coach Conn came over. He was like, and the coach yelled, he's like, what the fuck are you doing? Coach Conn, I was like, why would I do that? And then Coach Conn was like, listen to the coach. And I was like, whatever. And I did the last one. And then as I was walking away, Coach Conn was like, listen, I know, but just do what they say. And I was like, this is so fucking dumb. It's like, why would I ever run backwards? But that was it's funny you say that, because this was like literally earlier this week or like last week. I was like, for whatever reason, I was thinking about lacrosse and I thought about that. And I was like, that was like the dumbest thing.
Where did you guys practice? Were you guys at CBC?
Yeah, we're on the field.
Yeah. It was at fucking like 6 o'clock though.
Yeah. Yeah, 5 to 7.
We were all the way out in like Pacific.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Valley Park. I know exactly where you guys
Valley
were.
Park, Pacific.
Damn, I thought CBC didn't care about.
Well,
Holy shit!
as freshmen at CBC, you play
We're a
at.
club.
So
I'm just
everybody
letting
is.
you rip. As freshmen at CBC, you practice at Cadet Park,
Yeah,
which
but
I
that's
mean,
like
that's nicer than almost
30 seconds away.
Yeah, it's also nicer than almost anything else out there.
Okay, I'm gonna transition out.
Off
Our
of-
Yeah.
lacrosse conversation can go for a
It's-
super long
yeah,
time.
yeah.
So,
I had a few more questions about music, but go ahead.
I was gonna ask you. I was gonna.
Yeah, no, go.
Interview you.
Send it.
Shoot your shot.
Yeah. What's
Like,
up?
what do you want to do? Like, what do you want to do? Not even like outside of like the podcast. Just you.
What do you mean?
What's your angle?
What's your end goal? Like 5 years from now,
With this podcast or with life?
yourself, life.
Shit.
We can all ask each other that.
Yeah, I'll flip it back on you guys too. So I'm in real estate. I'm in commercial real estate.
For who?
It's called Invest St. Louis.
Okay.
It's a commercial brokerage. We specialize in multifamily. So I help broker deals I find sellers, and we have fuckloads of, obviously you always have buyers of people that want to buy and sell anything from a duplex, which I live in. I don't really want to put that information out there.
I'm with Cushman & Wakefield, so.
Right on. So we do anything from a duplex up to like big shit, like 100 plus units. I like to focus on the bigger things, like 10 plus units.
Yeah.
Just because if I'm spending that much time, might as well try and make that much more money. And I majored in finance with an emphasis in real estate at Mizzou, because eventually, even back then, I knew eventually I wanted to get into and own multifamily real estate. And COVID was a thing, and then this is not how I intended to get into it, but just one thing led to another, and this is the business I'm in now, which I'm very appreciative for. As fucked up as COVID was, it was a blessing in disguise for your boy. So a few years from now, I like what I'm doing now. I don't know 5 years from now what my full-time gig will be. I hope to own a few apartments.
Fayetteville. Yeah.
hope that I'm still doing the podcast. I don't know if I'll still be in St. Louis. I don't know that answer to that.
Yeah.
I've talked and thought about going west. Like I told you, my sister's moving to St. Petersburg, Florida.
Great area.
Yeah, it's like 20 minutes outside of Tampa.
So pretty.
Yeah, it's amazing. Evan, shout out Evan, just moved from Tampa to Denver.
Morris.
Yeah, Evan, yeah. Shout out Ev. So either one of those, if I were to move out of here, if I were to ever go big city, I don't know if I could ever live in a city. But I have made it a point in my head and like vocally that if I were to ever have to move to a big city, it would for sure be Chicago. I don't think you could catch me in NYC. I don't think you could catch me in LA. I don't think you could catch me in Phoenix. Dallas maybe, but I really fuck with Chicago.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna flip back to the initial question that I asked you. Like, what do you think you could talk about for like an hour on a solo episode? It's like, what do you, whenever you're like while you're working or like not doing podcast stuff, like what do you consume? Like,
Okay.
you said like you listen, so like that's where like that's like the reverse engineer of like what you think you could talk about. Like when you're fucked up,
Yeah.
what do you find yourself just not shutting up about with your boys?
What do you think about?
Or with Britt, like what would she say? Like, dude, like I don't care. Or like, I don't care. Like, what if she walked in the room right now?
Yeah. I'm obsessed with real estate. I'm
You really?
yeah, I'm obsessed with real estate. Like I listen to real estate podcasts. I spend hours reading blogs, forums.
Real estate or like commercial?
Commercial real estate.
Are you
like what I do outside of my job, I'll spend hours a day just researching
fire.
more and more into it.
See, like I'm a portfolio admin, and like I read leases all day.
No, see, not that shit. Like all like
He's
if
like,
you
"Nah, fuck that."
if you pull up like I don't have it in here, but like my little graph notebook that I take notes in every day, there's like 30, 40, 50 pages of just like deal analysis of like given buildings are on the market, and I break down the numbers and shit like that.
You'd rather own real estate where you know you could fix up a duplex or whatever and have people come in and buy and pay for it? Is that what you're reading up on?
Yeah. So like how to finance a deal
Okay.
of like obviously you start with a duplex, but in game would be to own like 1,000 units.
You should just just do what Brookside does.
Yeah, I fucking wish, dude. Talk about a cash goddamn cow. Oh, biggest ripoff of all time. Fuck Brookside. But yeah, dude.
Fuck you, Brookside.
They are rolling in dough.
That's a mistake,
sure.
right?
Yeah,
No.
but like a lot,
on.
I do like I love real because like that's what I got into. Like even before college, like I knew I wanted to get into real estate. And this job is like one thing, but like even before this job was ever even in the cards, like at my first job straight out of school, I was like, one day it's just gonna be real estate.
Yeah.
But outside of that, big car guy, big like I could talk. If you get me like 12 beers deep and you start asking me about cars, like I go like not only what cars I like, what custom cars I want to build, what I do to them, what engines, what suspension,
Yes, sir.
everything like that.
Give me a
So-
car before the 90s that you love the most.
Give you a car before the 90s. I really fuck with what is it?
You can pull it up.
Yeah, it's actually like you want to see my car list?
I love
What's
the
your
Roadrunner.
like? So I was listening back to I got like halfway. I got
So these are like cars that I want to do things to.
like
And like so this is like
things too,
square body
or-
dually Tonka version with an iron dump bed. LS3 swapped E38 with suicides. XLR CTSV conversion with an LS, a 1930 Bentley Blue Train.
Go to the top, very top.
So these are just like cars I fuck with. I'd love to do a Factory 5. I'd love to do a Resto mod. Lincoln Continentals I'll fuck with so hard.
You ever watch Entourage?
Yeah.
You get the car
Lincoln
in
Continental.
that.
That's a
yes,
Lincoln
sir, with the
Continental.
suicides.
Yeah. So like right here, 1947 Dodge Power Wagon double cab with
Have you
suicides.
heard of R&R Ranch? You haven't heard of they're
R&R Ranch?
right off Wild Horse.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
So I saw the garage this weekend, and
Oh yeah, right on the left side.
he's got a 16 car garage. He's got 8 cars on top,
Mm-hmm.
8 cars on bottom. He's got a Wagoneer.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what year.
Dude, he's got rides.
Dude,
He's got like $1 million worth of
he's
cars in that
got
bitch.
a 60. I believe it's 66 or a 67 Cadillac, the original that JFK was riding when he got shot. Dude, this Cadillac they take out every year on Christmas time. They go down Tillis Park. They see the lights. They take this thing out it's a convertible, so they take the top down and they ride down all the way down Manchester or Clarkson, and with blankets and hats and everything. Dude, this car was still in mint condition. Paint was perfect, no scratches. Still had the cigarette whatever ashtrays in it.
That dude knows what he's doing.
These cars that he had in his garage.
Yeah. So like
He had a Mach 1 in the garage.
one of my favorites all time are these things. It's a De Tomaso Pantera, and like I'd love to buy this car and turn it into that.
With the flip up,
kinda
the flip up lights are badass.
Yeah.
Did
Kinda
you ever
looks
play
like
Need for
something out of
Speed?
GTA.
It's from 1971, and I just think these things are so hard.
What color would you get?
I don't know. This car, I mean, that's fucking hard. This car, I don't know.
Right.
It'd have to be something like from like the 70s. It'd have to be like something bright, like yellow,
Yeah.
like a lime green or something, like a flame orange or some shit like that.
Yeah.
I
It's
fuck
like
with car,
out of
and like right here,
GTA.
this is auto. All of these are just like bring a trailer. These are just like used car sites, powder coating, aftermarket wheels. I've got like suspension shops in here.
Look up the original Mustang. It's the Mach 1.
Oh, those are sick,
Dude.
That fastback.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's amazing. I stepped in that garage and I was smelling the air in the garage. It's like, you can see these cars. You can see the engines, whatever. You can see the engines,
Okay.
whatever. You smell the muscle in that garage.
Yeah, yeah,
Gasoline.
yeah. You
the
smell
original
gas.
engine. And it's like, wow. We don't get that luxury.
No, that's just like, and like, yeah, like they're like like these Broncos now are going for like $200K, like OG Broncos, shit like that. Like, I go on and on and on. I love Buick Grand Nationals. There's a Ferrari from like the 80s or 90s that I really fuck with. What is it? Testarossa. I think those are sick. It's what Belfort had in the opening scene of
Yes.
Yeah.
what's it called?
Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah. I think those things are
Beautiful.
just like
Yeah. Those ones are
It's-
badass.
and like talk
Pure-
like when was it from 1984 to 96? Yeah, so like the late 80s, early 90s. Like if you pulled up in that thing, talk about a time to be alive, and you pull up in a Testarossa, fuck off.
So
Where
maybe
the
idea
shit-
you just like slam 12 beers and then
I could go on
press
and on
record
and
and
on.
just like have that be your first solo episode.
I could, but like it would get old so fast because like there are so many things. Like I want to build buggies. I want to build drift cars. I want to build like if I had $200K to build a truck, I'd buy one of the new F-150s, a limited or a platinum or a King Ranch. But then I'd throw on Raptor suspension and Raptor fenders and all this shit.
Car guy.
And you know what's
big car
what's
guy.
cool about doing shit like that? Like I know in the very beginning, like niching down like, wasn't what you wanted to do. Not that you have to like do that like at all, but when you start to put out that kind of content, then it gets to
Oh, for sure.
other people that are doing that, and then other people are like, yo, did you ever think like that's sick? Like, did you ever think about like doing this and that? And then you start talking to like, not that that's gonna ever be like you're like the whole pod, but like once you start to kind of like put stuff out like that, then that's when random ass people are like, dude, like I had been thinking about that too. Like you should think like what about doing this? And just like blah blah blah.
And like one of my favorite podcast period is Two Bears One Cave.
Those dudes are hilarious.
Yeah,
Tom Segura.
Bert and Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I actually have a bet with Fowler, a similar bet. I don't need to get into it, but they started like 3 years ago where for each other's birthday, they one up each other.
I just saw this.
Yeah. And this year for Tom's birthday, Bert had to spend $100,000. And he bought him a full-blown race car.
Yeah.
He bought him this like this old converted like E36 BMW with like a race cage and like this custom like transmission and this shit with like a short shifter and stuff. And this thing, it's like a legit.
You should.
And he bought him like a trailer, like a few race suits, race helmets, like flame retardant suits and shit like this.
well, because those things aren't street legal.
Yeah,
right? He was
no,
like, so, like,
it
he has
is
to-
not.
he has-
Yeah, this fucking Bert Crusher bought Tom Segura a race car.
Oh, it's Bert. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, wait.
Yeah, and he bought him. It's like this. Yeah, it looks like that, but it's like blue, and it's like this fully kitted out Beamer. It's
And
fucking sick.
That started with that's hilarious. So what did
It's
you?
so good, man.
When did
Roll
you guys?
cage
When
and
did
everything.
Yeah.
when did you guys start doing that?
When did what? Me and
You-
Fowler?
yeah.
This year.
So-
we have a bet for this year.
So when's your birthday?
Well, it's not our birthday. It's within our jobs.
Oh, okay.
But and yeah, I don't
you
need to get
explain
into
it,
it.
yeah.
But
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
whatever happens, the other person has to spend $100 on the other guy.
That's a great start.
Yeah,
That's fair.
And like we don't like we're not gonna spend. I mean, we're 25. Like we're not gonna spend $1,000 on each other.
Yeah, those dudes are what, like in like
Yeah.
like late 40s, 50s,
Bert.
and have been successful
Yeah.
comedians.
Dude will take his shirt off
for-
and tell you a story about
I
a
actually
train.
I saw him in November.
Dude, did he tell you the train story? Was it?
Yeah, the Russian mafia.
Dude, amazing story. I saw
So
Chris
fucking
Rock
funny.
with my grandma. I saw Chris Rock with my grandma 2 weekends ago
Where?
at Stiefel.
Oh hell yeah.
He walked out on stage. He was like, I'm okay. My face is good. My ears,
That's
they're
funny as
still
shit.
ringing a little. Dude, Chris Rock is a legend. Bert, legend.
Bert's a legend, dude.
Legend.
His show, I saw he was at Stiefel. It was back in November, and to this day, it's the hardest I've ever laughed. It
You
was
guys
so
agree?
goddamn
Stand up
funny.
is so like, dude. I think
Awesome.
even like, especially, I've always appreciated stand up.
I'm seeing one on Friday.
Where
I'm
at?
going to the Fox.
Who?
Fuck, I don't know his name. My girlfriend got the tickets for free. Britt, where'd you get it from?
Britt,
It's like her
Texas.
mom's friend or something. Sebastian Mana something.
But I,
This guy.
dude, you know what's
I'm seeing
hilarious?
this guy on Friday. Sebastian
Oh, yeah.
Maniscalco.
Yeah, that dude's funny as shit.
Yeah. Oh, he's from Arlington Heights. Fuck me sideways.
Oh, I didn't know
Dude.
that.
I don't either. What's up?
Stand up.
Stand up's so fucking good,
Dude,
dude.
Awesome.
It's you know what made me appreciate it a lot more was once I started to like DJ and do shit and the little
I
thing of like,
bet.
dude, if it's just like because it's like just as creative and like someone comes up like you were saying after your disco or after your disco groovy brunch. Fuck, I totally just butchered that name.
Funky Brown.
Funky
Funky
brunch.
brunch.
I knew it was something more clever.
I fucked up Chromeo, so you can fuck up Funky Brown.
So, like, people come up like, dude, that was so sick. And so then I started to do that with DJs, and I have this, like, long history with stand-up comedy that I, like, just realized within the past year or so that, dude, I was in my dad. So this is actually, now I can, like, have a story that we can talk about. That, dude, he had the CDs of the, like, early like Bill Cosby stand-up routines and
Hell
the
yeah.
Cheech and Chong stand-up routines.
Dude, we
And-
had the blue collar comedy too. Right?
dude, those are yes. So we were like, I was listening to those with my dad. I had to have been like
Young.
9,
Yeah,
like
grade
8, 9
school,
years
young.
old, like grade school, and
Did you guys
not
Go ahead.
and not understanding like any of the references,
Mm-hmm.
but still catching like the humor in it and just thinking it's fucking hilarious. And I caught myself like always liking stand up, and I was literally on TikTok like a few months ago, being like, why do I like stand up so much? And I thought about it, and I went to my dad. I was like, Dad, do you remember like you would listen to and like play Cheech and Chong
Yeah.
and like Bill Cosby and like all of these like super inappropriate stand-up comedians like while I was in the car when I was like 8 and 9 years old? And he was like, yeah. And I remember being like, and you don't like mom and like other people like you guys don't question like why I'm such a smart ass all the time. And
It's
he was like-
ingrained, my
and
boy.
he was like, I never questioned that, but it's like other people like, yeah, I was like, yeah, like it kind of just I listened to that as I understood. It was like I like had that engraved into my head. But then when I started DJing and like, cause
the appreciation for it.
of just like not to like you said to like you like, didn't want to toot your own horn of like doing shit, but, like this is like you're like vulnerable to a certain
Oh,
point,
big
like,
time,
doing your
big
shit.
time.
So as soon as you do that like once or twice, you look at every other like person who's putting themselves out there different, like so.
Oh my god, you
differently.
gain such a appreciation for him.
So anytime,
like for Bert to go up there and rip his shirt, like he's big as hell.
Yeah.
And for him to just rip his shirt off in front of like a few thousand people, like
Yeah.
you could not catch me doing that.
and at that point, he's already so successful. So like obviously that's definitely still there, but like going to comedy clubs or like shows at like smaller ones in Chicago, there's actually fucking amazing like
Oh, I
comedy
bet.
clubs. But
I
like
bet.
Chris Farley, that's where Chris Farley started.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, and
That's
then
where a bunch
just
of the SNL
Jimmy
guys
Fallon,
come from.
yeah.
There's one up in
All of
Chicago.
them.
and just going because like they're doing their shit
I wish I
too.
could talk to Noah about that right now.
That's where
Zanies, dude. I went to
yeah.
I went to one with me and Cam went. It was fucking hilarious. So if you ever are in back when you ever go back to Chicago, it's Zanies in Old Town.
Dude,
all
I
the
think that's
original
my
stuff.
buddy
Hilarious.
Noah. We were supposed to come on. He was supposed to come on this weekend. I hope we can do it. Noah Hewlett. He went and saw a comedy show probably a few months ago with his family, and his older brother's like best friend, one of his best friends, is trying to go full time stand up, and he's from that place.
Zanies?
Yeah, I think so. That's his like home shop in Chicago, and I think it's like the place where a bunch of SNL people come from.
Yeah, dude, because they go from there and then to Second City, and then because Second City is in Chicago too, like the.
Oh my god, I wish I could fucking.
Did I
ask him
tell
which
you
one
who
it
I
was.
saw Chris Rock with?
Your grandma.
My grandmother,
Oh, that's great.
who is 75
I bet
this
you
upcoming
love
year.
that shit.
Dude, he was late. She was, it's typical Jewish grandmother.
Getting antsy.
Come on, what the
Getting
fuck is
antsy.
going on? I'm like, where is he? It's like, Grandma, it's all good. We had our phones locked up because it was it was a Netflix premiere, whatever. And I was like, Grandma, just chill out, whatever. He came on. My grandma was having the time of her life.
I bet,
She's
dude.
74, turning 75 this year. It was just a good bonding experience with her.
That's awesome.
I saw
That's
my
great.
74-year-old grandmother, and it was just an amazing experience to have.
Dude, it's like, because laughter is just like a thing that like you'll never forget. That's a memory that like she'll go to her grave with, literally.
We went to dinner, dude. We went to dinner before. It was my uncle's favorite place to go to dinner, and I was like, "Yo, let's go." Whatever. It was very emotional for me because I was like, "Let's go here for dinner. Let's do it. Take care of it. Spend time with each other, and then go to this comedy show." And it's Chris Rock of all people. We grew up with Madagascar and grew up with like Everybody Hates Chris.
Yeah.
Just all these shows.
Madagascar. I watched that when I was putting laundry
There
away
was
the
a
other day.
time at the show, and I looked at my grandma, and I was like, she was sitting there laughing. I looked at my grandma, and I was like, wow, this is a great experience that I'll have, and I'll remember this forever. And dude, Chris Rock stand up alone is amazing, and it's a great time and place to just sit and just listen to somebody else just tell jokes.
Yeah.
100%. So like, do you guys like anytime, like obviously if we see anybody that's DJing like at a smaller scale, if someone cut out, like I would always make a point if they like suck and I have my friends be like, dude, this DJ sucks, like, blah, blah, I go, yo, chill out. Like, you don't know if this is like the first time that he's ever done this before. Like, I agree with you, but he just like, you don't know if this is the first time that he's ever even like done this.
Right.
But so I would never like say something like to him, but if like a guy's fucking like ripping it or played a song, I'd always go like, dude, that's fucking sick.
Yeah.
Because like I could be there's been times where I've been having like not that much fun because I think I'm doing terrible, and one person comes up
Just
and just was
enlightens
like,
it right there.
dude, I fucking love this song. Like, keep doing it. And so to the people, if you're ever somewhere where there's a DJ that you have the opportunity to like say something to him, gas
it.
him up. Do it genuinely. Don't just like lie
Feedback
about it.
is
Compliments
what
to
we
the
want.
chef.
Compliments to the chef. That doesn't mean he's gonna play whatever song you.
Yeah, don't expect that.
I can tell you one thing.
Give compliments without expect anything back.
Yes.
I went to MK. I saw Jack at MK, and I saw him he was having the greatest time of his life. He was fucked up. He had a mustache on the sideburn, having the time of his life. And then he came to Soundbar a month ago and gave me feedback, and I've played shows in Chicago, and I've had amazing feedback from fans and from friends and connections that I've met in Chicago. And the feedback that we get is the most important thing that we get as DJs and producers.
Oh, for sure.
There's nothing else that means more to us than feedback. I mean,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And even just like creative people in general, like if someone came up to you who is like not one of your immediate friends or even like second tier,
Sure.
like once
yeah.
removed friends,
Second
like,
connection on LinkedIn.
and they're like, and exactly, and they're like, dude, I love that like one podcast episode or like
it means
one
the world.
thing in there.
Like for you guys tell me that story about like that's how you guys met. That
Yeah.
meant the fucking world. That's fucking great, dude.
yeah, that's why I shared it with you.
Yeah, that was
because
amazing.
You went to high school with him, and like.
And then I've known you forever, and you're like, holy shit! Like
This guy
I should know this guy.
You know what caught my attention was, dude, literally, I went onto his Instagram and I saw a picture and a video of him on a boat in Chicago. And
Yeah, we talked about that.
Shout out to JoJo.
Yeah.
I was like, is this dude from Chicago? No, wait, he's from St. Louis. Wait, yo, all right, Orbs. Jorbs knows who he is. Like this is the connection, and that was it, dude. You brought us together.
Hell yeah.
And we have experienced late nights, pops. We've experienced late night food experiences. I made a pizza one night and he fell asleep. He made me sleepy Eags, dude.
Oh, I love
I
it.
have diagnosed narcolepsy.
Dude, this
I have
this is-
severe sleep
You
apnea.
have literally.
I've heard you sleep before.
You
we
you
roomed
snore?
together in Florida.
Do you
Oh my!
snore?
You
He
know it.
screams.
Dude, yeah.
It literally sounds like I was
People are gonna love this. Yeah, it's
Parker.
gnarly.
It was me, you, Parker, and Brendan Cruz, and
Yeah, you're
I think
right.
Parker was like, yeah, dude, like he snores kind of loud, and then you were like, yeah, and I was like, whatever, like I know
I can
that-
deal with it.
Like I know people that snore a lot, and like Thank God that we were running around in like 90-degree heat for like 8 hours every day to where I could like actually just sleep.
Catch
but
one, yeah.
God damn, I have like it sounds like he's actually screaming. So I hope like all of your friends who have like had sleepovers with you, like
Jack.
No, dude, they know.
Corbin.
At actually Navarre's house. Whenever I slept at Navarre's house, they would put me in the back room.
Seriously?
Yeah, because they're like, we can't fucking deal with this, man.
Wow.
it's it's like so you think if someone's snoring,
Maddie up late night.
Yeah.
so you think if someone's snoring and that's like
Just want a beer?
and that's like
You guys like
here-
IPAs?
Yeah. So
I
they're
love
and they're
IPAs.
like
Voodoo
right,
Ranger.
they're like right
It's
here.
Juice
divided
Force.
sky.
Juice Force 9.5.
I like Voodoo Ranger.
All
I
right,
get tanked. off
hold up.
this.
Give me a second. Jack,
I have 4 points, 5 points.
I have to thank you beyond because
Molly?
you literally you have caused a great friendship between me
Oh,
and
yeah.
Eags and
Glad to be a part of it.
you literally have like you caused it and I honestly like
Hell yeah, man. Cheers. I'll
this
drink to
guy-
that.
Do you want to kiss, Alec?
Yeah, come on. Come on. Let me get in there.
I wasn't trying to downplay that
Cheers,
at all. I
boys.
appreciate you so
he's
much.
glad to be a
showed-
part of it.
He has
I-
showed like dude, you're the inspiration to it all.
Thank you. I appreciate it. That means the world. You have no, it means it's for someone to like, A, listen, B, see a connection, and 3, make the connection happen. That's all I could ever ask for than tenfold.
I support him. He supports me, dude. It's literally
I love
just a
it.
relationship of like you find your friend and you have caused it.
Hell yeah.
And I appreciate it a lot.
Good.
Dude.
I'm glad. I'm so happy for you guys. I'm so proud of you guys. It takes a fucking guts to do what you guys are doing.
You too, dude.
Thanks.
Like,
I appreciate
it's,
it.
Yeah.
It's fucking weird. Like
It's wild to
When
put,
you
like you
sit
said,
down,
put yourself
yeah.
out there. Like you really gotta. You're like, okay, I'm doing this.
and it's so crazy. Once you do it like 3 times. For me like 3 or 4 has been like my magic number of like doing something, and then I'm like, this is normal. Like this is like not like I'm not gonna die. Like
Yeah.
this is cool.
Repetition. That's all it is.
And
Because for me, like how you were, I don't remember what you said earlier, but like I thought of it earlier. Like for me, it was like when I first started listening to these back to like edit them, and like when I like throw them on my car to like listen for shit, I was like, oh my god, I can't stand my voice. Like I can't stand my voice, and like really, I still can't. But like at this point, I'm like, whatever. It's
Accept it.
just who I am. It's how I talk. Like get over it, whatever. And like on the flip side, whatever. Like people come up to me and it's like, you have like a good voice for this, and I'm like.
Accept it.
Face for radio, baby. I'll take that. I'll take that all fucking day. I'll never be an actor, but I'll rip a podcast.
Jack, I've known you for a very long time. You are going to succeed, whether you
Thank
do
you.
with commercial real estate or you do this. I can tell you, you've got the voice for a podcast. You've
So
got the
back
voice
to that.
for it.
Ideally, if this funds that, that would be the ideal situation.
and not the reverse.
Right? Yeah. If this was funding my need for my want for all of that, that would be.
Do you have like a number of what you would need to at least make like that initial purchase
From this?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm way away.
No, I'm just saying, but like to have
Same here,
a
dude.
set number.
Oh
of,
yeah,
like,
yeah. It's in
like,
my head.
I know what number is it on paper.
I broke it all down. Yeah.
Is it on paper?
Probably somewhere. I know I've done the math because every math I do, I write it down. I've done it somewhere. I don't know where it is.
Mental math is hard. So numbers are hard.
A few things. I didn't ask you guys before you came in. It is 8:58. We're an hour and 40 in. Do you guys have a hard stop at all?
No.
No,
Okay, cool. That was one of them.
not one bit.
Those are the last beers in that cooler. I have a big bottle of wine in the fridge. I also have Conor McGregor's whiskey. What's it called?
Excuse me. Hold up, people.
What's that shit called? 12? Proper 12.
Proper 12. You got,
Yeah, you can go grab that if you want.
got proper 12.
Yeah, you can go grab it if you want. I didn't even buy it.
Holy.
Alex, like, hold on, I gotta go change my pants
Yeah, grab those ice cubes
I'm
out.
going to grab some ice and the proper 12 and go to the bathroom
and change my pants.
and change my pants.
You gotta use the bathroom? Oh my god. Okay, well this is fine because I can talk to you about this. Go ahead. Yeah, it's on the. Yeah, you'll see it. Shout out your hat. Gifts by Griff.
Gifts by
What's up,
Griff.
Griffin?
What's up, Griff?
You definitely won't listen this long.
No shot. No shot she listens this long.
That's awesome. Dude, I haven't told her. She goes to my gym. I don't see her that often. We chat it up whenever I do see her. But I wanted to tell her I'm so proud of her for doing that because same thing we just fucking talking about, dude.
Putting yourself out
like
there.
to fucking do that, and it's like, yo, I'm doing this, and like support me if you want to support me, and like that's why I will die by that hashtag, dude. Hashtag support your friends, because like that's where it starts, and like if you don't, it's not that if you don't have that, but if you do have that, like I can't speak highly enough of like you and like my friends that have supported this because that means the fucking world, and like. When I bought your hoodie, you were like,
Dude, I fucking loved that. I was so happy that you did.
Yeah, and I was like, I saw it and I was like, dude, I gotta get one of these. I was like, yeah, it's literally that. Because, like, if your friends are supporting you, like, your good friends are supporting you, it's like, I'll take over the goddamn world.
100%. And I'll always say, like, it's, for one, like, spending money on, like, on whatever I'm, like, selling. And then my friends, I have, like, a solid group of friends that, like, anytime I'm playing at, like, Star Bar or somewhere, like, they'll always come.
For sure.
Dude, sometimes it's fucking dead, and sometimes it's not. But every time they're like, dude, like, all right, we're going to leave. I was like, guys, like, you can go. Like, you can fucking leave. Like, I love you. Like, the fact that you even, like, attempted to show up and, like, got, like, 2 drinks and leave is, like, amazing. And anytime,
And
whether
just
it's
seeing
me,
them out there.
and whether it's me, like, putting something out like
no,
that, I was
it's-
like, guys, like, I'm putting this out there. Please never buy this because you feel like you have to. I don't, like, we can still be friends if you don't buy this or if you don't come. Like, I only want you to, like, listen to what I make, come to my shows, or buy any of my merch because you genuinely want to.
Right, 100%. And that's why I bought it. Obviously, I love you, but I was like, I saw it and I was like, A, it's a white hoodie. B, that logo's clean as shit.
Yeah.
And then, like, exactly what I was saying. Like, when my boys walked in, they're like, what hoodie is that? I'm like, yeah, fire in it.
Right? I wish you had one, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But like with Griffin's shit, so like what I've been doing and what I've tried to make a point of, like pretty early on, was anytime I have a friend that like creates something, like I'm gonna put this out there, because for DJs and stuff, like if you're doing it for like at bars, there's always like those bars always have a social media person, like a photographer, putting stuff out there. Like I want to be wearing something that like I know somebody made or like is my own thing.
Yeah.
So there was
Hell yeah.
so like with Griffin's
Free
thing,
tag.
Yes, dude, free tag. I was like, what am I gonna wear a fucking Nike hat? Like, which I've
Oh, you best believe I'm tagging Joyas.
Yes, dude, you
You
have
best
to. And
believe
it's
I'm
just like-
tagging Joyas.
I love.
And you know what's funny?
Die on that
Hilarious.
hill, literally.
This hat, this is like the first trucker hat that I've ever bought because I don't fuck with trucker hats. And
Really?
I saw Griffin put this out there and I was like, that's kind of fire. And I got it, put it on. I got a ring for my girlfriend too.
Hell yeah.
The little finger ring with like a smiley face on it. It's amazing.
Hell yeah.
And I was like, this hat is comfy as fuck. And now I wear it all the time. My dad, as I was walking out the door, was like, Jack, what's up? Like, why are you wearing that hat so much? Like, what's up with that hat?
it's a fire
and I was
hat.
like, fuck you, Dad.
Yeah, eat my sack, man. Come on.
I was like,
See if you listen this far.
Yo, are
he
you,
actually probably will. That's the thing. And I was like, Dad, like, this is Griffin's thing, because he knows her from through Regan, because Regan's brought her around to like a handful of our
Oh,
family,
sure.
of our family
Right on,
events.
yeah.
So both of my parents know who Griffin is.
Hell yeah.
So my dad was like, Chris, do you know what? Jack's had it. She's like, yeah, it's like it's Griffin's brand. Like, you know, she was like,
I
you
know
what that is?"
Griffin.
You know Griff? How do you know Griff? It's funny that we're talking about her.
Shout out Griff.
Yeah.
Wait.
Why
Anyways,
do you
going
look
back,
so perplexed
think about
right
it.
now?
Going
Just
back
think
to
about it, yeah.
the logo shit and like call it merch.
Wait.
I went because it's whatever this hat is.
Joy is one. That's
Yeah.
fucking fire.
Yeah, yeah. If you guys don't know what Joy's is, Joy's on the Hill. Hot salami, baby. Hot meats.
What bread do you get?
Dude, that garlic cheese
cheese
bread.
bread.
It's
Garlic
gotta
Cheese
be.
bread. Yeah.
But this brand, this Richardson hat brand, like all my favorite hats are this brand. And like my Arch Apparel hats are this.
Let me see this.
This hat is this. Britt got me a hat from Quincy, and they're all this Richardson brand. So I went on their site the other day, and I threw together a hat that with my logo on it.
Oh.
Yeah, and the option is stitched or not. And I was like, okay, if I could get an all black hat with that logo stitched on it, that would be kind of sick.
That would be. Do you think the blue? So would you get that same shade of blue,
I think so.
and then like have the blue and white? be
No,
the
no
same?
white. Just
So
a
what's
black
the
hat with that on it.
Well, no, I'm saying like the blue, like how the blue and white split in half on the.
I think it would just be blue and black. And then the letters would be blue.
And then if you got 3 colors going on there too, and that's gonna up the price a little bit too.
It took me a moment, but Griff, because my mom does jewelry, so it's
Oh, word.
familiar with it. But dude, this logo with like black on a hat,
I think it'd be sweet. Yeah,
be
like
so
literally the
sick.
exact same thing, but all black with that stitched on it.
I'd die.
100%. I would too, dude. I'd rock that. So I just bought pull up. Go on Instagram and look up Dreamwave.
My Wi-Fi's so fucking... Actually, today's podcast is brought to you by the worst fucking Wi-Fi on the planet. I swear to God, never get Spectrum. It is literally the worst shit I've ever had. And ever since I've signed this goddamn contract, they've upped the price every month, and I swear to God, my Wi-Fi gets worse. Do not get fucking Spectrum. It is dog shit. I have to turn off my phone, my girlfriend's phone, my laptop. I'm not even using my laptop. I have to turn off my laptop's Wi-Fi just to watch a movie in the goddamn living room. It is insane. Spectrum, I tweet at you almost every Saturday. You have dog shit Wi-Fi.
Listen, this man couldn't even watch Stranger Things.
Dude, it's so
Season
fucking
4.
bad. Sorry, it took a while to load.
This one right here.
This one?
Yeah. So same thing, and it was literally because
I hope they hear that.
one of my DJ friends,
sweet.
he like one of like his best friends. So like I'm now homies.
At
Shout out to
Dreamwave Clothing
Sarvok.
_.
Shout out Ryan and Jacoby. And this one of his like best
sick.
friends moved to Denver, and I like looked at this stuff. I was like, dude, this is sick. So this literally came from a friend of a friend's like person that he knows. So I just bought this that purple shirt, that pink shirt in the top right. Yeah, dude, like how sick is that?
That's sweet.
So I got this because
Forever and always too on the back.
Hey,
Forever and always.
go to the sizes. What sizes do we have here?
dude, they got inclusive sizes.
They just don't have a small.
Doubles? Oh,
No schmedium. Sorry, people.
how much is a double?
60.
Oh, wait, so it's all the same price.
It's all the same price.
Okay, all right.
So
Oh, it's a $60 shirt. Oh, yeah.
Hey.
It looks big though.
Jack,
So-
It looks
Orbs,
comfy.
Jorts?
Hey, yeah, big body, big bins, baby. We rolling deep around here.
Guess how much this shirt was from Nordstrom?
What?
Guess.
30 from Nordstrom? Nordstrom Rack or Nordstrom?
Yeah, I mean, dude.
Because I fuck
Daily
with the
Paper,
Rack.
come on.
$55.
No, regular Nordstrom.
$55.
85.
Miss me with that, dude.
I will
Just fucking-
spend $60 on that shirt any day.
I'm doing this specifically because it's like a friend of a friend.
For
Like,
sure.
and it's like
Support
it's
him.
his homie's
Absolutely.
brand. And if I would have seen it and been like, that shit's whack, then I wouldn't have bought it. But like I saw it and
That's
I
fire.
barely know the kid who reposted it. I've met him a handful of times. I gotta drive back. And
Sucks.
I'll
yeah, I
take
know,
some.
right? I drove this motherfucker
Feed
here.
me.
Perks of having the studio in your apartment.
Yeah, this kid's gonna be ripping shots that 1942 that Blake and Bo brought over.
Yeah, I think that might. No, they didn't bring that over. That was a gift, actually. Sorry to interrupt. Talking about people supporting you. This is signed. Britt put it together, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, plus Britt's 25 people
me see this real quick.
chipped in to buy me that bottle as like a good for you kind of a thing.
That's so sick.
I fucking cried. I have a video of it. I cried when I opened it. I couldn't believe it.
Shout out Britt.
Yeah, yeah.
Top girlfriend.
Oh, top girlfriend.
So
I love you, girl.
Wait, hold up.
What's up?
Dude, some of the names on here.
I know, hilarious, right? She removed me from a group chat so she could send a message about it.
Let me just tell you.
Yeah, and they bought me a bottle in 1942. It's
that's
fucking
badass.
fire.
So Alec, whenever you want to do that for me, that'd be
yeah, right.
Wait, stop. Fuck off. Wait,
Your boy needs a new deck. I know, not crazy. But yeah, that's what that bottle's from.
I
That's
love
sick.
everyone on here.
Yeah, it's great.
do.
And like, this is a
That's
card
amazing.
that I'm never. I wish I could just like fucking imprint it on here.
There's so many names on that.
I know you'd recognize a lot of them. It's great.
amazing.
Crazy.
It's crazy.
get a little frame for it.
You know what?
I know. I want to do
Eags.
something with it.
I'm never going to buy you a bottle of 1947.
Well, it's not you by yourself.
I will never ask anybody to buy you a bottle of 1947. You want to know why?
I don't know what 1947 is.
1942. Actually, that bottle was the first time I'd ever had it.
I don't think I've ever had it.
I never had it.
42.
How
My
was it?
apologies.
Did it taste different than?
I think it's empty. We can try it.
So
I think it might be
42 is the best tequila that I've had. I actually shared
it's
a
like-
bottle of 42 on
It's like $1.90 before
an
tax.
anniversary. I shared a bottle, and dude, the hints of vanilla you get off of that.
Yeah, look at this fucking thing.
You want to know why I won't share a bottle or I buy you a bottle? I won't buy you a
Take a
bottle
sip of
because
it.
I
Try
will
it.
be drinking the bottle with you.
Sorry, I should have gave you some before we started.
No, dude, this was just sitting on the ground.
Smell it.
Take a sip of it.
That's crazy. It smells
Smell
like
it.
tequila.
Like,
Take a sip of it.
I'm kidding. I'm not trying to.
Take the real
Take a
hints
sip
of
of it.
vanilla of it. Shoot it.
You don't take a whole shot. Just take a sip.
Why did my dumb ass call it 47? It's 42. I bought like 6 bottles of it before. I just want to
That
smell
is fucking fantastic.
Yeah,
smooth,
it's
dude.
wild.
It's almost like whiskey. You can sip
It's
it on
yeah,
ice.
it's wild.
But like honestly, I'd take the Harpo as well tequila over
And I'll die on that hill.
May I?
the tequila flavored the tequila flavored vodka.
Do you have the
The cork, yeah.
Cool.
Alex got it. But so, dude, like this, I would like had no reason to buy this. You didn't interrupt it. Just a little sidebar. No, nothing wrong with that. It
Sidebar.
was a good sidebar.
So smooth.
But like I thought that this was sick, and obviously the fact that it was like one of my friend's things that like he put on that I knew it's like just so it's like somebody like trying to make a brand. Mm-hmm. If I saw that and didn't fuck with what they were making, I'd be like, I respect that. I'm not gonna buy it.
100%.
But I saw this and I was like, those are sick
It's
as
sick,
fuck.
yeah.
I'm gonna buy that like and support it too. So I have a hoodie now, and then I'm gonna get that T-shirt too. So I'm gonna make the point of whenever I go and do stuff, if I'm not wearing like my own like logos and stuff,
something.
I'm gonna wear like something for
This
somebody.
long sleeve super fire. They don't have any hoodies on here though. They're probably sold out.
They did that, yeah, they did that.
Oh, you're shitting me.
Dude, the hoodies are clean.
Oh. See you never. That kind of bangs.
Dude, look at so they all have different. I'm
Oh,
gonna
and this
take a-
one says I'm fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a snap. I'm gonna take an Insta story and tag him in
Hey,
it.
do you
so I
mind?
can
Do
tell.
you mind if I start a live real quick?
I don't give a shit.
What?
I know.
Make fun of me. You know what?
Just feel- I'm not
Make-
making
make
fun of you.
of-
No, dude, when I was doing that fucking hot dog challenge,
That was
Yo, so
George, dude. I
hold
was
up, wait,
so
wait.
invested in
Let's
that.
get
I
into
was
that.
So,
Can you hold up?
actually,
Yeah.
no,
Finish
make it wide.
this
I
up
don't
because
care.
I'm actually going to go
These
on
hoodies are
later
sick,
and buy some of this
too.
shit.
Sad generation
love-
with happy pictures.
I love
Yeah. Shout out to
supporting
Dreamwave.
local businesses, and if this is one of your
Dude,
friends, I will
that's
buy the shit.
fire.
Dude,
Look
the
at me. What's
Dreamwave
this one
stuff
about?
is sick.
Especially if they're double XLs or triple XLs. You know me. I'm a big boy. I will buy
Perfect
that shit.
imperfections. Yeah, dude. We're
I will
yeah.
buy that shit.
These are sick.
Yo, we are here. We are.
I like how they put stuff on a
podcast.
back, and this is like custom like shit. It's not just some bullshit on it.
We're on the Joe
Dude,
Show.
and they're like if you look at the back of it too, like I love that all of them have different sayings.
Yeah, that I dig that.
My
I
hoodie,
dig
the
that.
hoodie that I have says what
Perfect
does it say?
imperfections.
Yeah, that's the
this
one.
one down here.
Yeah. Dude, and
Is it that one or-
their
I think it
shorts
was
are
this
hard
one.
too. So those are like those sweat shorts.
Yeah, this.
Like, yeah. Imperfect imperfections, but like I have the black one and it's badass.
So, I am going to go on later and check out some of the shit. But hold up. That one right there.
This.
Yep. Yes, sir. I will buy
sweet.
a double XL shirt. Like now, Jorbs, let me tell you something. When I perform, I want to be looking good. Like I heard you guys when I was in the bathroom. I heard you guys saying, like this guy wants to wear a hoodie, whatever. I want to wear triple XLs. I want to fit in. He wants to fit in. We all want to like look like the
Look
same.
good, feel good, play good, play good, get paid good.
100%. Dude, we all want to wear like triple XL shirts, that long shirt, glasses, bucket hat, whatever.
Dude, the
makes us
dream
feel
is
good.
buy those double XL, triple
Yeah,
XLs, get
yeah.
that long boy, but you fill out the sleeves.
Yeah. What up? Wait,
That's why when I go to the gym, I only do bicep
Yeah, dude,
curls.
it's
I do-
arm day every day.
I do. I do preacher curls and barbell curls. That's the only workout I'll do at the gym.
Before, when I told you I was like closest, I was leaving the gym. I was like, I did legs.
I
And,
had
like,
a
I was like,
feeling-
I should do calves, but man, I should do curls.
I had a feeling we'd come across this conversation.
Yeah.
Last year around this time, I was weighing almost 200 pounds. During Thanksgiving to wintertime, I gained all my weight back. I've been teetering for the past, 4 or 5 years. I finally want to come to a point in time where I just stick around a normal weight.
Yeah, I
stick
feel that.
around normal weight. And I feel comfortable wearing these double XL shirts because I can lose my weight. I can take my time and do whatever I want. But I'm tired of teetering. I'm tired of doing all this shit.
You put on a large and you can't get it. You can't.
100%.
Yeah.
I go into hibernation during wintertime, and I'm sick and tired of doing it.
I feel that.
It's like mentally, it takes a lot out of me. I don't know.
Dude,
No,
just
I'm
be
with you.
Like
comfortable being
I
fat.
can't, dude. I can't. I actually should not chime in this conversation at all because I'm just,
Yeah, we got about 100 pounds on you.
yeah. I'm fucking just. I'm a
What do you
lanky,
weigh? What do you weigh?
I'm a
Hold on.
lanky little bitch
What do you weigh?
right now.
Yeah.
Probably
This is gonna be hilarious. I'm just gonna. I remember 7th grade. Whatever you say.
Wait.
So wait, you know
180?
what both? Yeah. So give me ballpark.
Let me
numbers
tell
for both
you
of
my story because I want to know exactly how much you weigh, and I'll tell you how I do it each
That
year.
makes me uncomfortable.
And I won't make you feel uncomfortable. Let me tell you
I
something.
can tell you how much I weigh.
How much you weigh?
I want to ask you how much you think I weigh.
I think you weigh 187, 86.
I teeter between 175 and 180.
Okay.
I was gonna guess 175.
Okay.
That's
So-
been good. I've gotten to 190 before.
All
That
right.
was not a good for me. Was not a good 190.
So
I feel that.
Let
I
me
feel
tell
that.
you.
You know,
And-
you
and
hit
I
a
know
point. You're
that.
like, I know.
And I was slow. It was in high school. I was slow. I couldn't do shit. And then I started to grow. It was my body didn't know what was going on.
For sure.
And then now that my height has caught up with myself, now I am just. I mean, I'm a skinny dude.
So Jorbs and I probably can agree on this. We are bigger boys. We are bigger boys. We love our
Big
food.
body,
We
big
love
beans.
to drink. We love
Big
to
body,
just
big
fucking
beans, big
just
body, big,
enjoy it. Yeah,
Big body, big
100%.
beans.
You know what? Wait, hold on.
Big body, big.
So George,
Oh, no,
give us another riff of that with no other sound, and let's see if we can do something with it.
Ribbit.
Big body, big beans. Big body, big beans. Big body, big.
Let me tell you
Big,
this.
big body, big beans.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right.
That was on. That was
will
like
be
a
my
good. That was a
next
good
track.
temp. That was a good beat too.
Hell
Like,
yeah.
you were
Do
on
you know
time.
that song?
No.
Schoolboy Q.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I forget the name of the song.
See, George, you
were in
saying
high
that?
school when that came out.
Yeah, that song fucking
Yeah.
rips.
George,
I
you
know that
saying
because
that's
of my
gonna-
brother Matt.
Yeah.
So all right, so hold up. So we're talking about weight right now. So
Oh, it's literally called Big Body.
we know that we know that big body, baby.
Dude, this is a fucking banger. I've never heard this song before.
Yeah, I fucking love
Listen,
Q. Sorry.
so it's okay, dude. I fucking vibe with that track. So we know that it's hard. It's very, very hard at where we are because we are big boys, and it's Eags. He's a very skinny boy. He lives his life. He lives happy.
He's petite.
He's very petite.
I'm kidding. Body dysmorphia, it's real.
I each year have made a goal at New Year's, have said, whatever, I'm going to lose this X amount of weight, whatever, be happy, whatever, do this, do that, do that. I've done it and I failed. And last year I was in the best shape.
You
of my
were,
life.
dude. I wanted to say something earlier. You were in really good shape.
I was in the best shape of my life and I fell through with it.
easy
And
to.
I
happens.
Yeah, that shit
I
happens.
did it once again. Now this is the 4th year come around, and I'm finally like, I'm figuring out what I want to do. I work a full-time job. I want to DJ, and I want to do this, that, the other. I need to stop mentally. I need to stop and focus on my mental health and being fit. I need to stop fucking
Dude, yeah,
with the
'cause
teetering.
Losing weight and staying out of weight, yeah, sure, it's physical.
I want Taco
But
Bell all the time.
The physical thing is 90% mental. Because, getting to the gym is, if you don't get home till 5:30 or 6, now I have to go work out. It's a whole mental thing.
I
Yeah.
can bring that up with Dylan Brems and John
Mm-hmm.
Lazaroff. These guys are fucking killing it right
Dude,
now.
Jono's a monster.
He's fucking killing it.
Jono's big. I'll still beat his
Jono's, dude, come on.
Jono,
I mean, it's
I hope
Jono.
you hear this.
I have known Jono
That
since
kid
I was
cracks me up.
since I was a youngin', dude.
Yeah, I
Since
used
I
to
was
live
a
up the street
seed.
from him.
Since I was a seed, and it's just sad.
Seed.
Since I was a
I
seed.
traveled 800 miles to give you my seed.
It's just sad because like I went so hard last year, and I ended up coming around Thanksgiving and fucking plateaued and went and got fat again. And
Dude,
the
it's
goal,
easy.
The goal now is to realize that, you know,
Everything's balance. Like it's all
100%.
balance.
And that's what I'm going to say is you don't need to be strong. You don't need to be skinny. I want to be comfortable with myself.
And like the whole thing is like, don't get down on yourself for like, yeah, dude, we all crave Taco Bell. We all want pizza. Like,
I love Taco
don't
Bell.
stop yourself from getting it. But like, and it's not like the next day go run 10 miles. But like how I see it is like if you sweat every day, it doesn't matter if you walk or if you run or if you lift, or you can fucking go play pickleball, you play tennis, whatever the fuck you do. If you sweat every day, you're in a good standing.
100%.
Go do something. It doesn't matter what it
Yeah.
is. Who
Make it
gives
a
a
goal.
shit?
Well, and the fact that it's different too, then like that helps.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
That's like the differentiation of it, and to add my to add my skinny opinion is this thing that's called the airline. I'm paraphrasing the effect. It's this thing in psychology. It's like the airline effect or whatever. So
Enlighten me.
you walk in. So to preface it, all of my friends growing up, kids who I'm still friends with now, and you've met like one or two of them.
Buddy.
No, not buddy. I'm saying like my friends from like grade school,
All right,
like middle school, and then like in like early in high school, and like I'm still friends with them now. Like Ashel, like dudes like that, like those, like that's like he is like just a small, like he's tall too, but he's like a skinny person, and he played defense, and he was like, Jack, dude, like, can you just like give me like 50 of your pounds, and like I would be a much better defenseman.
Because everyone's different, and like
Yeah.
how your body is, like it's harder for, like physically, it's easier to put on weight because you can just eat like a fucking pig.
Yeah.
Like you could, but like to put on good weight is harder than, because like losing weight is mentally harder.
Yeah.
Like-
So he would so I was around always kids that were like significantly smaller than me all growing up. So like I always thought that like I was some fucking like fat like person. Like well, as I was like growing up. Dumb, being dead ass, I'm just saying.
You thought you were fat?
Yeah.
Back in the day,
I
maybe.
understood back in the day, like I understood
I mean,
like
fuck me.
where
What are
I
you
was
now?
at,
6'2",
like-
6'3"?
Yes, I am like 6'2".
Yeah.
But like so it's this
And when I knew you in high school, you were like pushing 5'10".
yeah, probably.
Literally.
And I was like I was 5'10" and probably still like 175
So
or
you're saying you'd
180.
step on the scale and look at yourself in the mirror and say, "I'm fat."
Because the only kids I was around were like
Skinny,
130.
six-pack.
Yeah.
Built.
So then like as you get older, like I'm like way more comfortable with it now. And so there, but the like this like airline effect is you have people that walk in, like you go into a plane. People that are sitting first class sit first class.
Who's the better looking, rich?
And then you sit first class. Those people are there. They're thinking of the people like I should be fucking flying a private jet. People that are in
Back in
business,
codes,
people
yeah.
that are
Yeah.
people that are in business class walk past the first class seats,
should
go
think-
into business class, and
a
think
great explanation.
they need to be in first class.
100%.
The people that are in economy, like walk past first class, business class, sit in economy.
Right.
Think I need to be in business class. People that are in
What's
people
this
that are all
called?
way
The
back in
airline
front.
effect?
Yeah, it's the psychology.
I have never heard of that, but that is a great.
It makes perfect
explanation.
sense.
Psychology.
Perfect sense.
I
We
could
talked
get,
about psych a lot in the last
I
one.
love psychology. It's one thing. I go into the edge effect and whatever. But I fucking love psychology. So those people. So then you go and then you get coached. Obviously, then like it's like blah blah blah. And people that are taking private jets are like, everybody should just come to me. Like there's just like every time you think that like you're like looking up at something, like somebody else is gonna be looking up at like
sure.
at your position and thinking like I just wish. So there's guys that are looking at you.
You're always chasing
And there's
something.
there's people that are looking at you guys and being like, I fucking wish I could be there.
Yeah, no, 100%. And that's the whole body dysmorphia thing. Like if you want to get into working out, like sure, like we're carrying around weight, but like that's the thing. Like as bad as we want to lose weight, there's dudes 50 pounds lighter than us. They're like, God damn, I wish I could put on that much weight. Dude, it's the same exact fucking
and
thing.
Those kids, those my friends that I grew up with, I played lacrosse with them all throughout grade school and high school. And once we got to like a competitive spot, and I could kind of like body up people, they're obviously significantly faster than me. I was like never that fast, but they're like, dude, like I just like wish I could like put on like your kind of weight. And,
For sure.
And I was like, dude, I wish I could fucking lose weight, and I just like couldn't do it.
No, absolutely. And like you knew my senior year, your sophomore year.
Yeah.
You knew what I was doing. And like so when I was in 8th grade, I hit 200 pounds. And so like obviously in 8th grade I was a huge kid. Massive kid. I mean, a 14-year-old walking around at 200, that's a big ass kid.
Yeah.
And like 8th grade basketball, I was doing triple doubles with blocks because I was just a monster of a kid, but I stopped growing.
Yeah.
And so freshman year of basketball, I was a 6-foot center, and like that just
Does not work.
it doesn't happen. And then so like throughout high school, put on weight, and then senior year, I got back down like the lowest. So I hit 200 in 8th grade. The lowest I've ever been since was 199. I wish I had a picture of the scale. I took a picture of the scale. It was at Lifetime. I hit 199.7.
Well, because that was when you and Iggy were ripping the ripping Lifetime after our 2-hour practices.
That was your freshman year?
No, this is senior year of high school.
So our sophomore year.
We were going before school.
Because then Iggy would always give us shit, be like, "Yo, you guys want to go work out?" I'm like, no.
I would go even before senior year started. I would go and work out before school, and then I'd have football practice. And sometimes I'd go to Lifetime after football practice. So sometimes I'd be working out 3 times a day. And then like lacrosse season started, and me and Iggy would work out before school. We'd go to school. We'd usually take a nap in the car. Sometimes go work out like down in the basement, and then go to lacrosse practice. So like at one point I was down to 199, and like it was 199 after weighing 240 pounds of just consistently working out. And like looking back on that, what's this? So that was 2015, 7 years later. I will never put myself through what I had to go through to get to that. Because that was what I was doing was disgusting. Yeah. I was running with, I mean, what did we run? A few miles at lacrosse practice.
Dude, if that was like on like a good day of kind of if Eddie like wasn't pissed at us.
And I was doing like heavy lifting, and I was doing cardio with lifting.
I wrestled.
Yeah. So I was like, I will, and like that's like what that's what you're saying. Like, holy shit. Body dysmorphia is real, but like you have to realize it's like these people that look like, you see these fucking Instagram's obviously always the highlights of everyone's life.
Yeah.
Like what people have to put them through to look a certain way, like it's just at some point unattainable. And like obviously always strive to be better, but like don't fucking stress yourself out if you fucking miss a day. Like go on a mile walk. That's better than not going on a mile walk. Who fucking gives a shit?
Don't beat yourself up.
So who fucking cares you ate a Big Mac? God, what are you gonna do?
Like you were fucked up or you were stoned.
Yeah.
And you bashed some Taco Bell.
You're not gonna eat a Big Mac the next 6 days. Like
exactly. If you do that every day, then like
okay,
that's probably
maybe we gotta have a talk.
Problem.
But like most people aren't doing that every day.
Yeah.
It's like what we were saying is like the whole balancing, like
because people because like that's what fucks. I feel like that's what.
You just get so
I let myself go, and I fucked up once again, dude. 5 years in a row,
dude. Like, that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It
well, like
matter.
it's good though because you're young and realizing this. It sucks when you're like 45, 50, and you're like, oh my god, I haven't walked a mile in 10 years. Like that's when, at least you have a grasp on it now.
Let me tell you something real quick. Sorry.
No.
I started running maybe a month
this
ago.
conversation has gone everywhere.
As it should.
That's why I fucking love this.
That's why it's a podcast.
I fucking love this.
I started running maybe a month ago. I was running an 11-minute mile.
Oh.
Jack, let me tell you
I
something.
bet that's what I'd be at, dude.
When I was in elementary school, I was running a 9-minute mile. I'm running an 8:37. 8 minute and 37 second mile now.
I mean, bro, I'd be damned if I could run a mile straight right now.
Even last year when I was in the greatest shape of my life, I wasn't running miles. I was running a half mile and then pumping as hard as I could. my focus now is to lose weight. It's not to fucking be jacked. It's not to show that I'm fucking huge.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't need a 315 bench. What the fuck do we need that for?
I was lifting a 295 bench.
And back in high school when we played sports, yeah, that
This was last
needs
year.
something.
Yeah. Last year it didn't mean anything. I was like, whatever. I'm lifting at 295. Yeah, great.
Unless you're doing like competitions or something, like.
What means the most to me is that I'm in shape. It's my mental health. It's the fact that I'm running. It's the fact that I'm running an 8:37 mile or an 8:27 mile. I want to feel good. I don't want to feel fat. I don't want to go to bed because I'm full after dinner.
Meat sweats, baby. Literally. Or do like walking up the stairs and like being out of breath. Like,
Yeah,
I just
dude,
don't want to be there.
I'm tired of it. I went to the Bahamas and back in December, and I was in the greatest shape of my life back in November, and a month later, I'm 20 pounds heavier than I was, and I'm uncomfortable. Like, I'm tired of it. I'm really, like, emotionally, I'm drained.
It's all mental. It's all mental.
And where I'm at now, DJing and being where I'm at, specifically getting ready to make the big move,
Probably plays a big part of it.
a huge play of it. I'm ready to.
Well, in Chicago, be walking a fuckload.
I'm ready to make a change. I'm ready to actually
Good.
make change in my life. St. Louis isn't gonna help. A new start.
Good on you for noticing.
In a new state, Illinois, and a new city, Chicago, will make the change for it.
Hell yeah.
It will.
My problem is drinking. As bad as that sounds,
Look at me, I'm double fisting
Yeah.
here on a fucking Wednesday night.
I drink. It's not that I drink. Like, it's not like on Wednesday nights I'll have 12 beers. But it's like almost every night I'm having like a glass of wine or two.
Dude, wine, but like wine isn't super, super bad. It's definitely better than like
Most,
not
yeah.
drinking,
Whiskey and beer.
But
Yeah.
it's a lot of calories in beer and whiskey. But
It's just like, yeah, it just adds up. It's like, oh, I've hit my
does.
protein for the day, and then boom, I'm slapping another 700 calories on it in wine.
I'm on a diet right now, and I have not ate dinner. I did not eat dinner
Oh, I
today.
bashed a bunch of deer. My computer's gonna die. Whatever. Let's switch back. How we were talking. I love this. This is the whole point of this thing. People are like, "What the fuck were we gonna talk about?" I was like, "Dude, we just riff. Like,
Or
we just
literally,
fucking go."
I'll say the same thing that I said before the first one. I walked out the door and my dad was like, "What are you guys gonna talk about?" I was like, "Fuck, Fino."
Confetti.
Ooh, God knows what. I'll let you know afterwards.
How much I love Chesterfields.
That was actually what I said. I couldn't say that though. Like that was it made the story.
I'm
less
confessing
funny.
my love.
I'm gonna try and get these off. We don't have to cut it off, but I want to get these before I forget. I have 3 things. My computer's gonna die in probably
Shoot
like
your shot.
20
please.
minutes.
Go.
One thing we were talking about earlier is how your dad played the CDs with the stand up.
Yeah.
One thing that I always grew up with, and what I want to tie this into, I always grew up. I don't know about you guys, but the TV show. I don't know what it was on. It might have been TNT or ABC or something. But whose line is it anyway?
Yeah.
You guys know what I'm talking about with the bald guy and the black guy and the really tall guy.
Black guy, dude.
Did you know why I know that? It's from fucking my improv class. Did you ever take improv?
No, but I know what you're talking about.
Let's
So-
make a deal, baby.
Yeah. So
With
Alec,
who's Drew
Carey.
Carey? Yeah,
Carey.
yeah, this guy, Wayne Brady, Colin Mocktree,
that show's fucking
Ryan
hilarious.
Stiles, and I don't know who these new guys are. But yeah, that show, like,
So-
this is like back when I lived in Ohio. So like pre 2007, I remember like in my living room, my dad throwing this show on like after, like fucking American Idol, whatever, and like he was just dying laughing. And like when I look back at these like highlights from like 20 years ago, I'm like, this shit is fucking hilarious.
Dude, it's before Let's Make a Deal and
No, I think
Price
it's
is
like at
Right.
the same time.
Well, I mean, Wayne Brady is Let's
this
Make
started
a Deal.
in 90. This started in
Dude, Drew
98.
Carey is Price is Right.
Yeah, Let's Make a Deal was definitely before '98.
Wayne Brady and Drew Carey are the original Let's Make a Deal and Price is Right.
2009.
What?
Oh no, this says
So-
1963.
So let's make a deal. So
63.
dude.
You gotta just like you kind of just talk sometimes.
stop.
I love you. I love you. You
Wayne
kinda just talk
Brady
sometimes.
is the OG, and let me
This
tell
shit-
you now. Drew Carey is not the OG. Price is Right. I mean,
I'm not
you
debating.
know that.
No, I'm just saying.
No,
like,
he was. I don't think he was ever Price is Right. Why is your tail wet? What the hell?
He is Price is Right now.
Oh, is he?
You know who the original Price is Right was?
I don't know if I'm going to believe you.
The dude that
Look
just
it
got
up.
cancer.
Look it up.
What's his name?
Okay, so
Honestly,
George, where
I
are you
can't
going
think of
with
it.
that?
Yeah, so
Your dad would throw
Bob
that
Barker
on.
until
Bob
2007.
Barker.
Bob
Your,
Barker.
your dad would throw that on.
Yeah, so like that,
after-
it just, I remembered it earlier when we were talking about that and like how you just always had appreciation for stand up. And this, I thought of it because of what you were talking about and like the appreciation of like when people come up to you and say things.
Yeah.
And I think the connection between how I see it, I'm not a stand up. I will never strive to be a stand up. I don't want to be a stand up. I don't want to be a DJ. I don't strive to be a DJ. Like that's, but how I see it is that what it takes, like when you're first, from what I understand, from when you're first starting out to be a stand-up comedian and what you're first starting out to be a DJ, producer, whatever you want to say, is like the guts that it fucking takes for you to go up that first time, that second time, that third time, and just absolutely bomb. Like that is some kahunas that some people will just don't understand.
Yeah.
What do you mean by bomb?
Like just like fail like straight on your face and like
Man.
and like in the same aspect like how you guys have been talking about like when when at a stand-up comedy show or like at a gig like when things are going well is when you start reading the room and you like know like okay they're liking this and like shout out Bennett, he says this, he's like when he lives in Springfield, he's like, whenever I'm in Springfield, I take over touch tunes, I just rip house music, and it just completely flips.
Fucking love that.
Yeah, he's like, I just flip the script on the bar, and he's like, no, we're just going house music, baby. And he just fucking skips everything, just rips house music. I'm like, I love that. But it's like that same thing. It's like if you like play one song, it's like that movie we were talking about. You play one song, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm feeling this, and you like go off of that, and you go off of that, you go off of that. It's the same thing with stand-up comedy. It's like, okay, these people are fucking with this. They didn't fuck with that joke. They didn't fuck with this song.
Yeah, it's all on the spot.
It's like we're gonna go. Yeah, exactly. It's like
learning
you go up and like you have a quote plan. You have a set that you think you're gonna do, but like it's like totally off of like whoever's the 10, 500, 500,000 people in front of you.
Yeah.
And that's I don't know. That's where I was going from earlier with all of that. It was like how you were like it's. I don't know. Fuck me.
You explained
No,
it, dude.
you're good. And
I
it's like-
played a show one night at Pops down East Side, and I thought I was doing great. You know, these guys hired me to play house music. I was on East Side, so I should be playing rap music and doing top 40s, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I was playing house music. I got cut off.
Oh
15 minutes into my set,
Damn.
got
That's
cut off.
whack.
And greatest learning experience of my life was this time to show me, like, you know, it's the East Side. You should be playing hip hop, rap. You should be playing top 40s, whatever.
Sure.
I got cut off in my set, and I beat myself up I still beat myself up. And I'm like, you know, whatever. Like, I fucking shit the bed that night. Now looking back at it with this guy, I look back at it and I'm
Greatest learning experience.
experience, dude.
Yeah.
It is an experience that you need to look back on and be like, you know, you're in St. Louis, you need to put you like it needs to be hip hop rap. It can't be house music. It needs to be country music. It can't be house music. And it's a learning experience that I've learned and
For sure.
it's happened and those times that you have are the greatest moments that you can learn from.
Mm-hmm.
And Pops over in East Side was just like it was that time for me.
Literally yesterday, I went and saw a movie with it was just me and my mom. We got dinner. We saw a movie, and we were talking. Shout out Dylan if you're still listening. Mom, if you're still listening, we were talking about it at dinner, and Dylan talked about. I don't remember if he actually used the word failure in the sense, but my mom was like, I don't like the word failure because it's either as a success or as a lesson learned. And I'm like, hell yeah. And I'll die by that one. Because like whatever, because it was the same thing with any DJ or any comic. Like if they were to quit after their first bombing on a stage, like who knows who would be missing out on.
Yep.
And like if you just stop there because like that one crowd that first time didn't like you, fuck off.
Who fucking cares?
Yeah, dude, who
Literally,
fucking cares?
Who fucking cares? That's a mantra that I'll live by.
Yeah.
And there's a quote from Kobe, R.I.P., and that he's like, the only time that you fail is when you stop trying.
100%.
And Shaq kind of piggybacks off that, and he's very vocal about this. He's like, you like can never succeed unless you know how to fail.
Absolutely.
Like, so I tell people, I've had conversations with like some of my friends and shit, or like I like messed this up or did that. I was like, dude, the only time like if you like actually fail at doing something is if you just like stop doing it altogether. Mm-hmm. And that's
absolutely,
what, and that's what stops like 99% of people is that just like, fuck, this didn't work.
Because once you get like you can start
Yeah.
once you start, but you have to keep going.
Yeah.
You have to keep fucking trying.
Yeah.
Because who knows when that one thing is gonna do it.
Exactly. And Alec, he called me like the morning after and was like, dude,
Almost
they told me.
crying.
And I was like, that's not going to be like the last time that happens.
Yeah,
like,
it's like,
it
don't
was
let
like,
this one
dude,
stop
like,
you.
It has happened to this day, and
I was just like, dude, like it's gonna happen. Like, don't let it fucking.
Yeah.
Bother. Like, you
the
can
more
like
it
let
happens, the better I learn from it.
You can like
Absolutely.
let it bother
And you
can-
have to.
And you know, but like to balance that a little bit, I heard this hilarious quote. So I love balancing my like, kind of like artistic and like creative intake from athletes and then like musicians and then like rappers. Not that rappers aren't musicians, but like I kind of like
Yeah, no, I
categorize them
know
separately.
what you're saying.
And 21 Savage has this fantastic quote, and he was like, don't stop being a hustler and start being a dreamer. He was, you put out like 30 mixtapes and none of them have gone through. He's like, you're a dreamer at that point. He's like, so there's like, not that there's a balance of like, to like ever give up. It's like, don't. But I thought that was a very interesting take from him of like, dude, like, because if you stop being a hustler and like just hustle to like fucking just grind and keep doing it, because like there's a balance between, there's other shit that goes into music and business and anything else
sure.
than just like doing it on the surface level. So if you're just like putting stuff out to put stuff out, then like that's not the whole picture.
Right.
There's got to be other stuff that goes
There's
into
got to be
it.
real effort into it.
And he just, I fucking love 21 Savage. Too.
Yeah, I like
And
21.
He was like, you gotta stop. He was like, there's a point. Like if you stop being a hustler and start being a dreamer, then like that's bad.
Yeah, that's
you
real
gotta,
bad.
You gotta keep being a hustler. And so that it was like, I find that clip is hilarious and like is very insightful too, because there's like a balance of that to where there needs to be more than just like that one thing that you do.
Absolutely.
And that's the 99% of shit that people don't see between any content creator, creative person, entrepreneur, or musician.
It's the work you
Whatever
don't see.
only sees is there. And that's
Yeah.
remember we talked about fucking being cliche, and I was like, that's cliche, but like fuck cliche.
There's-
That's
yeah.
the stupidest fucking phrase
Damn.
in the world. And because that's just like true, and the only people that use cliche are either like use the phrase cliche are really successful people talking about their journey, or not successful people talking about shit that they haven't done.
Yeah. How they're unlucky or some shit like
Yeah.
that. Absolutely. Fuck me. This is great. You guys want to end it?
Yeah.
We're at 2:22.
222. Yeah, no way people are going past.
I had one that
How
went
do you
for 4
count that?
hours.
Which,
What's up?
oh yeah.
How do you count that?
How do I count what?
Like 222. Where?
Yeah, I've got this thing over here that's counting it live. You guys
What's
want to call it?
What's your favorite color?
On a Wednesday
Aqua
night.
blue.
Aqua blue.
God, what's
The color of that logo.
That makes sense. I
What's your favorite color?
I drip between like a sky blue and like I like a good green, like the Hulk hand right there.
Yeah, I like a good army green. That's one of Britt's favorite colors.
But like,
you?
you want me
yeah, go.
to? I will be specific here.
Can that be? You should put a microphone.
Dude, I just have one down there.
Yeah.
Cobalt blue.
Oh yeah, I like that.
So the reason why I like cobalt blue is
Oh.
because it is actually like a specific color, and like I was also gifted a gift that was cobalt blue. People say sky blue, people say blue, people say whatever, Cobalt blue is
I love that I
an
ran this thing
actual
into the ground.
specific blue, and it is dark. It's like navy dark. It is
Oh, that's kinda
darker
fire.
than navy.
Yeah, fuck me for
Shocking. Why
saying.
would I hit
Cobalt?
Fuck me for saying sky blue.
Cobalt is sexy. You got fucking Crocs that are cobalt
That's
blue.
like
You've got,
that's like a deep
it is
ocean blue.
deep, dude. It is so dark.
So we can end it. I got a text from my family. We can end it, but one of the other points I had was to flip it on you guys. Where do you want to be in 5 years?
You go first.
If you're still listening, keep listening. This is probably good.
This will be.
We can
This will
edit
be what I'll clip 5 years from now.
All right.
So I have within the past I think a few months or so. So I have like an LLC for my business. It's Club 67 Sound LLC, and Club 67 comes from my address is 67 like Muirfield Spring Court, and whenever we're like going somewhere, my dad
might
would be
bleep that.
like, yo, we're going to I mean, go to my fucking address. I'm moving in 2 weeks anyway, so you guys can go bother my parents. But so my dad always be like, yo, we're just going back to Club 67.
Oh, that's
Just call it
sick.
that. Yeah. And my mom would talk about that too. I feel bad. I talk about my dad a lot more, but I love my mom, and she's just as influential. I just want to say that, Mom. I know you're probably not listening, but I love you.
I love you, Mama Eagan.
I love you. And that was what I wanted to attribute it to. So, but I have an LLC, so now I have all of the money, any money that is going to come through that, something that comes from the music side of it's going to go through that
For sure.
LLC,
That's smart.
that EIN, all that shit.
A lot of tax benefits to that.
Exactly, there is. And so what I wanted to do is to be able to have a sort of company and hopefully have it be a record label and event thing to where it can be multifaceted and RS to where I can throw an event and be I just as small as let's do a party at this bar. I'm I have some random connection with this person, who's the owner. I'll play for an hour. I'll have Alec play for an hour. I'll have whoever else play for an hour, but then promote it it's a party and just have my friends come to it, because from my knowledge of following all of those companies, that's how all of those start.
Sure.
Is just from, especially since we're moving to a newer city.
For sure.
Then every one of those events, it's going to be my friends, and then the next one is going to be my friends,
Plus
and then some of their
ones.
friends,
Right.
and then some of their friends. And then if I can get to a point where I can just put people on a platform, and hopefully, so I had an experience when I was had just graduated through Mizzou, through this organization Mizzou Electronic Music Organization. It's MIMO, and shout out to Sarvac, and Sarvac and Christian, and at the time it was predominantly Sarvac, and he texted me and was like, yo, dude, we had some random connection through a CBC kid, actually, Jason Meyer. It was Dean Meyer's son. He's
No
a homie.
shit.
Yeah, so Jason's a DJ too. So
Hell
he's
yeah.
he's a homie. So I had only played at one bar a few times, and then he was like, yeah, dude, come do this show with us. It was at the Rose Music Hall,
Yeah.
and there was probably 40 people there. It's not a big place. There was not that many people there, but that was the first time that I plugged in to a big ass fucking sound system, and I thought that his board was this crazy piece
That's
of equipment,
sick.
and it's the one that I use every weekend now. But you just gotta not acknowledge him. And
Yeah, it's Tito.
but so he gave me the experience, and then he ended up, and then he sold out the Blue Note a few months on stop day. He sold
No
out.
shit.
So they had a show with 4 or 5 different I think it was 4 different DJs, and I was supposed to be there for a little slot, but that was the night that I was opening for Cruella. Mm-hmm. But so he asked me to do that. So he had put me on those kinds of shows to be in front of, be on a big ass stage, lights and everything. And I thought that that was the coolest fucking thing ever. So I want to be at a point where I can put other people in that situation.
Put people
who,
on.
I know that
Hell
you can do
yeah.
this shit and come do it, and I'll do it with you. I'll do it and then you do it. But then while at the same time creating a party and a fun atmosphere for other people, because then I could do that wherever I want. The goal for me, business
That's
wise,
sick.
is
I
to be
fuck
able
with
to
that.
have that control over that, and have that let that make me be financially stable. And actually I did I'm doing a podcast that
Fuck yeah.
I went all in on after I like left yours, the first one we did. I've recorded 1 episode so far, and I'm like, I get like nervous in between from doing them, but I'm gonna
I know.
I'm gonna keep doing them. But so to shorten up my answer, which has been super long winded, but like, so I want that to be the business aspect, but I also want to just fucking travel. Like, did you know, seeing like going to places in Europe and like you went to Barcelona and Madrid and Dachau, like all those places, like you go back somewhere, but like you know that all of that shit is like still out there and there's stuff that you still haven't discovered. So I want to be able to have the like professional freedom of having part of my job be traveling around.
That's sick.
So that's what I want to do, like on top of being a DJ and like a music producer and like putting out music, but still being able to like put other people on and like give other people a platform.
I fuck with that.
Yeah.
Lift them up. Hell yeah.
Hashtag support the homies.
Hashtag support the homies.
Be there.
Yeah, I hope to get Boogie on soon because he's done big shit, and I'd like to hear his end on that. But what about you? What about 5 years from now? Put the headphones back on.
All right. So 5 years from now,
My computer just died.
Is it still going to be?
Oh,
It
yeah.
goes
No,
through- it
nothing's
goes
on the
through.
computer.
All right.
This is just notes. This is done now.
All right. So 5 years from now, I want to obviously make it and be successful and still be working my day job. It's working your day job does not happen, and you cannot end it within 2 to 5 years. It's got to be a 10-year goal.
Everything that I've heard is that whatever side thing you're doing, whether you're DJing or podcasting or being a yoga instructor, whatever the fuck it is, wait until the side thing can at least equal that
Support.
full-time income.
100%.
And that's when you ditch it.
So I'm waiting until I can be supportive, until I can get a photographer, videographer, and make sure that I am successful, whether it's social media or it's, I'm producing music that is successful and I'm on Spotify and, I'm reaching 100 million or 1 million people or just being out there. I don't care where I'm at fame-wise. I just want to be able to, like I told you earlier in the podcast, I want to be able to I want people to be able to reach out to me and be like, yo, you were an inspiration to me.
Fuck yeah.
I want to be the inspiration.
Fuck
My
yeah.
end goal is an inspiration as MK was to me, as Justice or Daft Punk was to me. I want to be the inspiration. That's my end goal. It's not to make millions. It's not to be the fame guy. It's not to
That's secondary.
be the next John Summit, even though, John, I love you, and Schuster, you are the man. It's not that. It's to, I want to be the inspiration for the next generation. So,
Fuck yeah. Hell yeah.
I'll throw in one more thing too that I just listened to a TED Talk like yesterday, like 2 days ago, and I love like the business aspect of music because like any creative person like is an entrepreneur like at
heart, for sure.
like on like just like a different plane that like they
They
might
got
not
ideas
think
running
that
through
they
their head
are.
all the
Exactly.
time.
So this guy was talking about, and I'll send it to you. I'll send it to both of you. It's very interesting. And
I already like it.
he was saying how he is like a social psychologist, like does all that stuff like permanently and like researches and like does studies on this shit. And he was at some sort of convention, but he talked to a bunch of different successful entrepreneurs and then a bunch of people who were he worded it as like wannabe entrepreneurs or like
Yeah, I know what you're
wannabe
saying.
entrepreneurs. And he asked both of them like one specific question that he had tailored from like previous experience, but the question was, have you ever had a point of no return, like whether it be financially or not? All of the successful entrepreneurs said yes and had a very specific instance where like the one example he used were these two kids who had like just graduated high school, like were still in high school and spent like $10,000 on a shipment of shoes because they
We
wanted to
gotta
send
do
shoes.
this or
And he was
not.
like, one, the financial thing was like obviously like that was a financial point of no return, but the bigger one was when a fucking truckload of shoes rolled up and they were like, all right, we
gotta
have to
sell
do this.
these. We're not just gonna sit with a truckload of shoes.
So every entrepreneur that he asked that if they had a point of no return, all of them said yes. All of the wannabe,
I wish I could write this down.
all of the
I guess it's saved on my
wannabe
phone.
entrepreneurs that said, and when he asked them if they had a point of no return, all of them said no.
Dude.
Or like they want to have one at some point in the future.
Really?
So I'm not
That
telling
is
either.
how my first sales job started.
I'm not telling either of you to like quit your jobs. Like I'm not gonna quit my job, but like at a certain point, like there's a point of comfort that people don't cross.
bro.
That is
sure.
what separates people.
For sure. You either
between
take the
what-
leap or you don't.
Exactly, and I think all three of us are at a point where if that leap happens to just fucking like fall on our face,
You have to.
we got a little bit
Deal
more.
with it.
We got a little bit more wiggle room than people who are 30, 40
Right.
years old.
We don't have kids. We don't have mortgages. We don't have any of that shit.
Wow.
I'll send you guys both the podcast. It's like 15.
fucking
It's like
dude,
15 minutes.
Shit.
Yeah, I'd love to listen to that. But that's real. I mean, that's real.
You have
Like,
to be 100% in. And like another
Way to
part of
end
it,
it.
another part of it that he said was a Michael Jordan quote was like, it was like after I made a decision about something, I never thought about it again.
Wow.
And that's like people, like human beings lose the situational battle of like, if I don't know exactly what I'm going to do at 5 a.m. when I say I want to wake up, like if I'm like so pumped, like, fuck yeah, I'm going to wake up at 5 a.m. I'm going to work out. I'm going to read a book. I'm going to read a chapter or whatever. If you
I'm gonna take my
don't-
dog out. I'm gonna make my coffee. I'm gonna fucking read. I make
you
my kids
don't-
breakfast. Whatever the fuck it is.
If you have like 10 different things going on and then you like that alarm goes off and you have like that situational battle in your head, like the situation wins every time. As like human beings, the situation is always going to win.
Damn, dude.
So you need to have like a set plan, and every time, like, if you make a decision about something, it needs to be like
So
100%.
obviously send this to me, but like for anyone that's still listening, do you remember whose this was? You said TED Talk.
It was a TED Talk. No,
Well, you send it to me and I'll post it. I'll put it in
the show notes.
This makes
what's that shit called?
sense, dude.
Caption. I'll put it in the caption. Yeah, no, big time. It's fucking real.
I was waking up at 5 a.m. to go to the JCC last year, and dude, oh my god.
So it's called the 100% Rule That Will Change Your Life. Benjamin Hardy, Ted Klagenfurt.
Yeah, send it to me. I'll put it.
TEDx
I'll put it.
Klagenfurt.
I'll put it in the caption.
Yeah. So just like there obviously is a balance between like not being totally reckless and just like throwing something at stuff, like throwing yourself at something that's like not there. But then there's also something where you're just like staying in your comfort zone, and not even your routine is good. Routine is fantastic. That's like routine. There's another quote is like routine, like as like your routine sticks whenever your like motivation isn't there. So like if you have a routine that you're
Fuck me, that's good.
if you have a routine
Holy shit,
that is involved like with what you want to do, that sticks when your motivation, because you're not going to wake up every day being
Right.
like, fuck yeah, I'm going to do this. Regardless of like, Tom Brady didn't wake up every day and be like, I'm going to be
Throw
the best quarterback
30
ever.
touchdowns every game.
Which is a very extreme example that I try to steer away from. But the
Easy example.
the routine, like a routine with whatever it is, that consistency, routine and consistency trump motivation, because motivation is not always going to be there.
There's something. It's like there's some quote that it's like motivation doesn't come from inspiration. Motivation comes from action.
Facts. You get more confident. Like confidence and motivation comes from like getting results.
And like that's the thing. Like even I don't know how you guys are, but like with this damn podcast, it's like I'll have these fucking ideas. I'll write them all down. But like if I don't sit down at this desk and like cut out clips and like send them to my phone to post, like nothing happens.
Yeah.
But as soon as I post one clip off on one Instagram with 2-sentence caption, it's like, all right, I've got, let's fucking ride. Like I'm
Make
gonna
it
text
happen.
these 15 people. We're getting these scheduled like just like this. And like thank you guys, because after this, like tomorrow, I'm gonna probably text 12 people and like, well,
Please
let's
do.
get this shit fucking scheduled.
Get it.
So I fucking hope.
You know what, Jack? Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you guys.
Without your podcast, I would have not met this guy right here.
Oh, cheers, man.
Yes, sir.
Let's end it on that.
Ended
Huh?
on
Ended
that.
on
I
that.
really, I can't thank you enough. Like, even
Thank
my
you
brothers
guys.
have said it. You have
Thank you. I love you, dudes. I'm proud of you guys.
Proud of you.
I obviously
Proud of
will
you,
support you
I
to
really
the ends of
appreciate it.
everything.
Thank
I'm
you.
proud of you, dudes, and
We can finish it. Hashtag support your homies.
yeah,
Support your homies.
can't wait for the next one.
It's coming.
Cheers, everybody.
Peace.
Cheers.